What is up, quarantine party people? It's a Friday. Are you ready? March 41st, Jay, or April 10th. It's a good Friday, Jay.
Friday.
Literally, it's a good Friday. Welcome to the show. And are you ready for your daily dose of TME, the Modern Eater Show Live, the voice of Colorado culinary? And we're just kicking it off. If you're not watching, you're not paying attention. Every day, we're doing it right here from 2 to 5 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitter, and Instagram. And on Saturdays, 6 to 8 p.m. I'm kind of getting that big boy voice, so talking so much.
You do. You got your I call it sexy
that?
Voice. That's what I call it.
Big show for you today. The lineup right here. We're going to check in with our friends to the west. We're going to head to California, a place where Jay grew up in the kitchen. And Chef Doug McMillan will join us from Rosa's Italian, 3 p.m. Monse Hines, and Tim Hines from Monse's Taste of El Salvador.
Yeah.
El Salvador.
Monse's Taste of El Salvador.
Ahead of myself. 3:30, Kendra Bennett's Honey Bunchies. We love these gals at Honey Bunchies working hard. And 3:45, Jeff Rourke, A+Beverage Solutions. 4 p.m., Larry Herz from OCN Eats. As always, as folks are joining us now, thanks for tuning in. 4:15, we're going to do a flashback interview. Why? Because we can. And 4:30, new sponsor, Rich O'Brien, Elevation Foodservice Reps. And 4:45, Dr. Sara Metz will join us to get us into the weekend. In the meantime and in between time, you know what time it is, Jay. We got some share music.
Yeah,
I got a good one for you today.
You've been picking good ones.
Today's a good one for you. It's for share song. So what happens during the share song? Here's what you need to do. Take the live stream. Sharing is caring. We love the likes, but we want you to share this. Definitely, this is for Colorado. And if you love this state, you love Colorado culinary, and you're just tuning in now, we've been keeping people connected. You know, you love your favorite restaurants. It's day 26 out of 57 since dining rooms have been shut down and bars and restaurants all over the metro area and the Front Range. 33 days to go, Jay. And today is day 16 of your shelter in place.
Mm-hmm.
We got some good stuff. News is going to come up and cool people doing cool things. In the meantime, we're going to play some share music because we're going to do the same thing. Share this to your personal Facebook page, your favorite group, your favorite friend. Tag people. Did you know, Jay, that in the comments on the Modern Eater Facebook page and the live stream, you can just tag a friend that you think might be interested in this?
You should tag a friend.
You should do it too. Okay, let's party. It's Friday. Got my audio, Jay. It's Friday, but let's go. Audio up over there?
I don't hear it.
I know.
I don't hear it. I wonder if that has something. It can't have anything to do with.
I'll bet it does.
My video chat. I left them.
All right, we got to have some audio here.
I left them.
We should have tested that out.
I mean, well, you know.
I was going to throw a monkey wrench and everything. All right, remember yesterday and that thing, it's not muted over there? I'm still going to share it. Jill, yep, I know. Live radio. I hear this in my headset. You know what? I'll bet you it's my fault, Jay. Let's see.
You hear it?
No, I don't hear it.
I don't hear it either.
Dang it. It's a good one, too.
Man, well, let's regroup with this here.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm just trying to think of what the heck's going on here on my end.
Why we can't get the computer?
Yeah.
Everything's up. Everything's on.
Yeah, man. This is you right here.
The computer?
Yep, that's you. I don't know unless it's that cord. That cord's been a little
I can
weird.
Hear the cord in my.
Yeah.
That's it. You get to watch this live, you guys. It's Friday. Live video, live radio. No man, it's masters. We continue. I don't know why I can hear that in my headset, but not. Let's do this. Let's go to another video and see if I can play this one. See if there's any audio here. No audio here either. Well, shoot. This is really, really bad.
I mean, we can just fast forward to Chef Doug.
Let's do that.
You know,
although I don't know if we're going to be able to hear Doug either.
Oh, hold on. There we go.
Wow.
What'd you do?
I didn't do it. It's good, though.
Hey, what's happening?
Here we go.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that.
What did you do?
Nothing.
All right, good. Let's party.
2, 3, 4. Bust it.
I got them squirts for the low.
You got to make up
I got
for
them
it now,
squirts
Jay.
for the low.
You got to come over here and dance with me now. Get the share down.
Well, do you want me to put you up?
Canada, China, we don't play that. It's that Corona clap.
You got the Corona clap.
I said I'm trying to stay safe, won't it please believe? But that corona make it hard for a player to breathe. Don't wash your hands, you might catch it, water and you stuck. Right now them tickets to Jamaica only $15. I'm trying to quarantine myself, I'm staying inside. The NBA canceled on me, man, I'm feeling deprived. I'm out of toilet paper, but they ain't got none in the stove. Man, that corona, wow, you can't wipe your butt no more. And ain't no more school for students, it's just classes online. This shit ain't about to have a graduation on FaceTime. Man, they trying to cancel God. I can't go in the church. Got hand sanitizer on deck, and I'm selling squirts. My concerts getting canceled, man. I'm really so droll. But if you start coughing around me, I'm walking clean out the door. I'm telling all my people stay home. It's really that real.
That's how you chair dance.
Coronavirus, man, cool out and just chill. France at, where Spain at, Africa, Philippines, we don't play that. Just that Corona clap. Just that Corona clap.
It's that Corona clap.
Where Japan at? Where Brazil at? Mexico, let them know we don't feel that. Just that Corona clap. Just that Corona clap.
Share it, baby.
Man, y'all be safe, man.
Good
y'all
show,
stay
man.
inside,
Coming
dog.
up, heading
Don't
to
let that
California.
Corona get you down. Yeah, man. It's your boy D1. Mission Vision all day.
This is in fact a crisis. Make no mistake about that. This is real. And we're asking everyone to pay full attention.
Well, all right.
Perfect timing right there.
That's right.
And the computer works. We don't have to melt down anymore. Guys, thanks for joining us on a Friday. And again, it's a good Friday. And good to have you here. Let's turn to cool people doing cool things. And we'll start out first with Chef Brother Luck. I love this one. Chef Brother Luck, I talked to him this morning. Is that working? No audio for that one?
No audio for that one. I mean, now, okay.
Hold on. Yeah, okay. All right. Let me just refresh that page.
Since the last video, I connected back to the chat room to get prepared for this next video or this next segment. So that may be it.
That is it.
You think that's it? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So get out of the chat room.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm out of there. So maybe refresh and then we'll take a shot.
Here's the lesson. You don't try new things before the show, right?
Right.
Or we don't.
Yeah, I mean, I connected her. I did a test, but not with both of these things going both ways.
I hear you, brother. Okay, cool people doing cool things. Chef Brother Luck's going to kick this one off. Talked to Chef Brother this morning, and I just want to make sure that we have audio so we can hear the hilarity in this. Here we go, Chef Brother Luck.
Can I pet that dog?
No.
Can I pet that dog?
No.
Can I pet that dog?
No, he's
Can I
sleeping.
pet that dog? Can I pet that dog?
You can go to sleep.
Can I pet that dog? Let's hear it.
Is that what he's saying?
Yeah.
No.
Can I pet that dog?
No.
Can I pet that dog?
No, he's
Can I
sleeping.
pet that dog?
No.
Can I pet that dog?
You can go to sleep.
You can go to sleep. He must have been up late last night. All right, let's go on to this next one. Here we go. This is Rebecca Berry doing great things. Rebecca Berry feeding hospital workers at Rose, and she put a little video together today.
So I'm just pulling up to the Rose Medical to deliver 50 lunches to the nurses thanks to Tessa. So Tessa Delicatessen, I can speak today. We got our lunches from those guys. They're going to go and feed 50 nurses who are delivering all of these babies during this pandemic. So we need sponsors to keep this going with Manning Law, and the HUT schedule is powered by Fourth. Our goal is to continue feeding the nurses twice a day until our funds run out. So we've had some amazing sponsors. We did have a donor that came in yesterday who's actually having a baby here as we speak. and wanted to be a part of the project. So appreciate all your support, you guys, and all of the restaurants that have helped us out with this. I'll be looking for more vendors to support us with a really great cost. Our goal is to raise money to pay the restaurants for these meals, but then to also make sure the nurses have delicious food. So we're trying to keep the economy going with Manning Law and Hot Schedules powered by Fourth.
Cool. Rebecca Berry doing great stuff. Reach out to Rebecca. If you heard that video and you said, oh, shoot, I can help, do it, right? Rebecca.berry@fourth.com. Rebecca.berry@fourth.com. Speaking of Rebecca Berry, pop-up shop, man. Here it is, Lever's Locavore, and a great grocery store here in Denver.
Yeah.
And they put a pop-up shop in. There's great merchandise there. It goes directly back. It's like cash only. And every cent of the proceeds goes back to the particular restaurant, bar, distillery, product, whoever that they got some personal apparel from. So here's some pictures of that. There's Brews Beers. Brews has got a table of shirts. This is a great way. Crush Pizza and Tap. Great way to be
swag central.
Yeah. Fancy and Toast. Jay's going to be the fancy. I'm going to be the toast. Get some stuff for yourself. There's Bistro Colorado. It would mean a lot if you support it. Elevation or Deviation right there. Although, as we continue,
I thought so for a few minutes there. It was just you talking about it. I thought you were going to play her video because she did another swag video. So now
you didn't show all.
Well, no, it is now. But I thought you were describing what was coming up, and then I realized halfway through that you're describing the pictures. Yeah, So I mean, technically, just so you know, maybe half of those pictures. Just that's. I mean, there's great stuff in there.
There's the pictures. There's the pictures. There's the picture.
Yeah.
Okay, more people doing cool stuff. Cool people doing cool things right now. The Modern Eater Show Live continues. It's Friday. It was a bumpy start. Doesn't matter because we're going to kick ass the rest of the damn show. We're so glad that you're joining us right now. Here's the goods. Mark Whistler, crowdfunding. You know, people are asking for help right now, and you wonder where you can actually make a difference. The Good Restaurants is a local eatery. Good food done great, and Mark Whistler and his staff, he's just trying to stay alive like the rest of them. Here's what he put together, and I think it's cool. It's Lights of Love. We know that staff. Look, you can see Mace coming up here. Chocolatina. There's Mace. Everybody's at home. They want to get back to work. There it is. That's the Light of Love. Such a smart project. And how you can help out. And Mark Whistler, if you know Mark, you know what a hell of a guy he is.
Mm-hmm.
And the Goods Restaurant on Colfax next to Tattered Cover. Here's the link to their GoFundMe. $375 raised of the goal of $25,000. I hope if you have $5, $10, $20, it's our favorite local eatery, and it's just a home away from home restaurant that we would really love to see sticking around. So that's the Goods Restaurant. Right here, guess what? This gentleman came by today, Jason Wange, and Jason brought us some cookies.
Jason Wange, the Foodservice Power Plan. What'd you bring us?
We got some cookies. Our family made some cookies for you knuckleheads.
Gosh. What kind of cookies?
They are chocolate chip.
They better be. You didn't make any for Greg.
They better be.
Those are all mine. No.
Hey, Jay, you just asked me to watch the video. Thank you very much. You invited me.
You're welcome. I just go through a manic.
More people doing good stuff right here. Here is the Culinary Creative, and Juan Padre and his team have they're reaching out and they're helping folks as well. But I wanted to show you, they're crushing it, man. Here it is. How many is it? 350 burritos. This is what it looks like when you put that together. Just going. I want a big old squirt thing of guac like that. She squirted that right in my mouth.
Man, I love guacamole.
These guys just crushing it.
Look at that.
You know, what better way to spend a Friday, right? So here they are. Man, just feeding them on the front line. Frontline workers getting some good stuff. So thank you, Juan Padro, and your team. I want to check in on this right here. At 2 p.m. every day, they're going live. I'm wondering if they're live right now.
Distillery 291?
Yeah. The day that
yeah, man, you know.
So I'm going to refresh this and see. The day that I check in on their 2 p.m. live. Here, is this it? 2 p.m., 28 minutes ago. Let's check in. What are they doing at 291?
Now I got a hot mic.
Hot mic.
Oh, no. They don't know. They don't know that we're looking. We're peeking in.
Yeah. This is called the hijack.
291. It's in Colorado Springs. We're hijacking their feed. I see Michael Myers in the reflection in the background.
There's people that just came on.
Yeah.
Hi, friends.
Hello.
We're just getting everyone lined up for our 2 p.m. check-in.
Isn't it 2 p.m.?
It's like
Hi, Mom and Dad.
we're seeing you, seeing us, seeing you.
Hi, Mom and Dad.
You're supposed to drink that Campari with rye, Dad.
Yes. If you like 291 like we do, check out their 2 p.m. live feed every single day. That's 291. I'll keep that there. Hey, Jay.
Yo.
Did you howl last night?
Nope.
Howl Club? This was it. Cherry Creek, Colorado. This was in my crib.
It's louder and louder every time you have one.
I mean, they're going. That's pretty good, isn't it?
It's super good.
Just got to take it in. What was that?
Now that's
concerning.
I don't think that was part of it. That's a different kind of action.
So the Howl Club going on there. 2:30. Going to check in with our friend in California. Jay, what in the world did you do in California?
Well, so this chef, his name is Chef Douglas McMillan. And I worked there from 17 to 19.
Does he remember you? That was like 35 years ago.
Well, it wasn't that long ago, but yeah, no, I'm old. I get it.
Howling. Seriously, how many years ago?
I mean, it was a little while ago. So I worked there.
So he's coming up.
So yeah, he's coming up.
Looking forward to talking to him.
I am. I talked to him this morning just to check the connection, which I'm sure will not work now. But he is a really talented chef, and he chefs at a restaurant. He owns a restaurant called Rosa's Italiano Ristorante.
That's coming up. Booze or news right now. Food news. All the food news you can use on the Modern Eater Show. It's a Friday. And I want to start out with Jen Jasinski. Before we do that, we have to welcome everybody to the stream. Thank you for sticking with us with a little bit of audio. Jay wanted to get his face so the chef could see him. And so we were trying to tinker around with a new camera, but it stole the audio.
I mean, listen, compared to some of the stuff in the past, I'll take this, I mean.
You will?
Okay. Well, I don't want it. The lesser of two evils. This, so right now, let's not jinx it. We're good.
All right, let's do this. Mark Harvey, thanks for tuning in. Little Rich Schneider, my mother Patricia, Travis shared the stream. Thank you, Travis. Jim Pittenger is watching. Jim, I didn't see that you shared the stream. Aaron Shepard. Hey, gang, what's happening, Aaron? Chef Chito Ariola. Peter Round, Chef, good to see you. Sandwich Bandit Becky, George Valent. Yes, she is a Sandwich Bandit. Sarah's tuned into the stream. Oh, you, Jay Parker. And Aaron Shepard, again, thanks for tuning in. Let's do some news. Okay, so a theme of the show that we've been talking about is what's it going to look like post-coronavirus? So when they open the restaurants back up on May 11th, what does that mean? Is everybody going to go flood in and sit in, busy happy hours or bar stools right next to each other, Jay? I don't know if I would. Even if we got the go-ahead and all is clear, I don't know if I'm rushing back into it. Listen, there's not a vaccination yet. There still is a spread. Coronavirus still is out there. So a lot of people are concerned for our business, and I don't blame them. So the past few days, I've been getting ahead of the game. And Juan Padro's calling us back right now, Jay.
Oh, cool. Call him. Talk to him.
Should I see what's going on?
Yeah, talk to him. I'll pass the time here. So I was 17 when I started working at this.
Hey, Mom, can I call you back? Jay's
That's
about
not
to
going to
get
work.
into a 17 story on the air. Thanks,
Come on. All right. Now that was the good. That was the right call.
That was the right call.
Yeah.
I do not want a 17 story. Who knows where that was going to go? We'll get some of that at 2:30. So they did a great piece on CBS 4. Chef Jen Jasinski was interviewed and talking about unsure and how gradual reopenings of restaurants will work, right? So are people going to go in with the same habits, or are they going to, restaurants are going to have to do new things? Just think of how small the margins are for restaurants to operate. They count on every turn that they can get for dinner service. Every seat is worth something. Money-wise. So here's what Jen Jasinski had to say on CBS 4.
Next month permanently, the recent introduction of some federal
let's go
aid.
to the beginning of that. Dang it.
Well, I mean, listen.
Oh, here we go.
For payroll.
I will get it right now. We'll probably go through an advertisement now.
The stay-at-home.
No, we won't.
What is...
Restaurant owners don't know exactly what this gradual reopening will look like. Chef Jen Jasinski, she owns Rioja here along with other restaurants around the metro area. She's been in this business for years, and like many, she's already lost a lot. The thought of hanging on through a gradual reopening is exhausting.
Sometimes I don't know what else to do and I want to help people. I think there's still people in need and I know how to cook.
Every day, Chef Jen Jasinski and her staff prep 500 meals for the homeless.
Wow.
It's a busy day.
This on top of offering to-go orders.
Thank you so much for supporting us.
Trying to keep her restaurants afloat. For now, all 4 operate out of Rioja. She had 5, but after 10 years, this was one storm Euclid Hall couldn't weather.
We saw the bank accounts going down, and it was really important to us to be able to close the doors at Euclid and pay our employees everything owed to them.
Between March 1st and March 22nd, 2% of Colorado restaurant owners closed permanently. 14% anticipate doing so in the next 30 days. This week, Governor Polis suggested there'd be a gradual reopening of restaurants with a cap on patrons.
I don't know how that's going to work. So are we going to have to seat every other table? There's so many questions up in the air, and we want to bring our staff back on.
She says some staff may get more from unemployment and may not want to come back. On top of that, a gradual reopening doesn't help when the cost of inventory is high and rent even higher. To survive financially, she says everyone has to help.
One aspect can't take all the hit. So we all need to take, I think, a little bit of a hit, and then we can maybe make it to the other side. That's what I think needs to happen in a holistic approach.
In a holistic approach.
And while the Colorado Restaurant Association says...
Pause that right there. As you hear Chef Jen Jasinski talk about what it'll look like as far as reopening, and I think that she's exactly right. It will be a holistic approach. Moreover, for me, organic approach. It's gonna work itself out. But how is that going? What are the effects of reopening? It should be an interesting thing to see how the positioning it is. Yesterday, we heard from the executive director of Tri-County Health, who surmised that you might wear a mask going back into a restaurant or bar, and that's a tough pill to swallow, especially having those constraints on a restaurant owner or bar owner is just not reasonable. So here's my prediction, Jay.
Yeah.
If that is the case, what's going to happen is they'll just postpone the opening of restaurants and bars.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you too. I don't think that's a realistic expectation for anybody, a guest or restaurant owner. And I'll be gosh dang if that's not Doug.
That is not Doug.
That's not Doug.
Let me finish up here with the news, and as we continue online events this weekend, Jay, are you going to get your garden ready?
No.
You're not?
No, I don't have a garden.
People are going to be gardening this weekend. I encourage you. Get your garden ready.
Okay.
You can make a garden.
I could. What you have to tell me is get a garden.
Get a garden?
Yeah, and don't get it ready because there's nothing there. Unless you count my weeds.
Get a garden. All right, let's go to our guest right now. His name is Chef Doug McMillan. It's Rosa's Italian Cafe. It's Rosa's Italian in Pismo Beach, and this is a place where Jay worked 45 years ago. And good to see you right here, Chef. Thanks for joining the show. How are you?
Not too bad. Let me turn you up as high as we can go. Just speak as loud as you can, I guess, there. How are you, Chef?
I'm good, Jay. You miss this?
Well, Hey man, whether you believe it or not, I dream about Rosas. I really do. Now, I'm not saying that all the dreams are good, but I was telling you on the phone this morning, I have a lot of awesome memories from Rosa's Italian restaurant. I mean, put it this way: if I was 17 to 19 there, and so those are some formidable years for a young man, and learning, how to cook anything. You were the first person to teach me that, right? I mean, no father, we don't need to get into all that, but you were the first male figure in my life to show me how to make, chicken Parmesan. And that's not something you forget overnight.
No, it's not. It's not. You were great. You were great.
Yeah, I know that too. Hey, listen, man. So California, Colorado. I've been in Colorado over 20 years now. Obviously, you're still in California. My mother's still out there. Not easy times for anybody anywhere in the world right now. But from 50,000 feet looking up in California, what are you guys going through out there in regards to the coronavirus shutdowns, and what is Rosa's doing, during this time?
Well, I think most of the country is in the same boat. I mean, we're all trying to find that shoreline, and right now we're limited to just doing takeout, and we have a delivery company, but we're going off the full menu because we don't know any other way to do it. And by the grace of God, our regular customers are supporting us, and there's no tourists because no one's traveling, so it's
right.
Our locals and our regulars that are supporting us, and we're open every day from 4 to 8 for takeout and delivery.
I love it. I love it. I mean, that's pretty much all you can do right now. And Colorado's in the same boat. That's what most folks are doing, is a limited hours and limited menu. You're doing the whole menu there?
Whole menu.
Well, that's insane. What about Cioppino? You still doing Cioppino on Wednesday? Are there some viewers right now that are going to watch that and say, why the hell did you say Cioppino?
Well, yeah, Cioppino is on Wednesdays. For sure.
Still Wednesday. Can I, if somebody rolls by at 4:15, can they get a Cioppino to go?
They would have to go to the sister restaurant across the street. We're just doing Cioppino at one restaurant right now.
Tell us a little bit about Rosa's and your family and how everything started, and then touch on Ada's across the street, and then we'll watch you cook something.
Okay, so your typical American dream story. My mom was an immigrant, 15 years old, from Avellino, Italy. Came over to Boston, worked for her uncle at a deli, learned the trade, and then came out to California. And my dad followed her. They were shortly married thereafter and started opening restaurants. She loved people. She just loved people and loved to cook. And every time someone walked in, it was like her own home. And we still treat it like that today. Since then, both my parents have passed, so now it's my wife and I and my kids and a whole crew behind me, a whole great team. And about a year ago, we decided to open another restaurant in Pismo, named it after my mother. Her name is Ada Rosa, and called it Ada's Fish House. Really felt like we should, I thought Pismo Beach, being in a beach town, they liked Italian, but we needed a good fish house. And darn it, we're giving them a great fish house. Fresh fish, Cioppino, sandad, scallops, you name it, we're getting it. Local halibut from local fishermen, trying to keep everything sourced locally, and it's taken off. It's been a great venture, and it's right across the street. So it makes it really.
No, and they're both beautiful restaurants. Did you know that your mom used to give me cash on busy nights when we really got slammed and, everybody worked hard? Did you know she'd come back there with a little couple of dollars, probably like $20, $25 folded up in her hand that she'd give me on the side?
Yeah, and then I gave you some. So
yeah, you did too. But I never told you guys that you were doubling up on me.
We were, but you were great, and you were a beast at that age, and this is not an easy kitchen to work at. You were doing 500 dinners on a Saturday night back then. And that was making it to order.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely didn't realize what we were doing at the time. Now it's a lot different story. What are you going to cook today?
Well, today I'm going to make something very simple, something very Italian. Italian cuisine's very earthy. So we've got some tomatoes, garlic, some basil, and let's just go ahead and get started. So this is a very simple dish. Make at home, and that's why I'm doing this dish. It's not one of the mother sauces, but I think it should be, because from this sauce you can go in many different directions. Okay, we're going to start with some garlic. We're just heating up our pan, starting with garlic, a little bit of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, and we're just going to brown that garlic a little bit. We want to extract those flavors. We don't want them to burn, but we want to get that nice flavor garlic out of there. And as that's starting, it should heat up fairly quickly. And then we're going to add some seasoning. The seasoning I'm adding is a little bit of salt, pepper. I'm adding some granulated garlic, some dried basil, and a little bit of hot chilies. Now I'm using dried basil because it's going to cook for a while. We don't want it to get bitter. And that's when you use dried herbs, is at the beginning of sauces. Then you use fresh herbs at the end of sauces. All right? So you can see it's browning fairly nicely. Let's take a pinch of one of these.
Man, I remember when that garlic would pop and hit you right underneath the eyeball, you know. Yeah. And there's nothing you can do but just take it. You just take that.
White wine, just a dry white wine. Cook off that alcohol. At this point, we want to add some of our garden Roma tomatoes. Now, the secret to the capellini al naturale dish, or the pomodori dish, is to have it fused. So right now, you've got a lot of aromas, and you've got some wine, a little bit of olive oil, right? So what we want it to do is we want it to fuse into one sauce. And the only way to really do that is to cook those tomatoes down. So if we put it over pasta, we don't want the tomatoes sitting on the top and then all the juices running to the bottom, because then you're not coating your pasta very well. So in this situation, I'm going to add some whole peeled plum tomatoes. This is another Roma, but it's a plum. I'm just going to break that up. So we call this capellini al naturale, but it's also considered a pomodori. So if you go to an Italian restaurant, you can get a pomodori sauce. You grab a ladle. And we're going to put some whole peeled plum juice in there. This is not a marinara. This is just a plum.
I've made that over the years for a few gals.
Say that again, Jay?
I said I've made that over the years for to try to impress girls that I think I know how to saute, because that's kind of one of the easier ones.
So I'm going to let this cook down, and then when it's just about ready, I'm going to add basil. The fun part of this dish is that you can add anything to it. Zucchini, squash, broccoli, spinach, chicken, sausage, whatever you want to add to this dish will go perfectly. You can see it just, I don't know if you can smell that.
Yeah.
Can you smell that, Jay?
Yeah, I can.
Well,
I can smell, what it smells like? It smells like 1995.
It smells like the garden, Jay.
That's right. Hey, do you still have the fishermen come to the back door with ice chests full of fish from 2 blocks away?
Yes, but not ice chests. They come in big trucks. The local fishermen have a distributor, and they come in, they have tanks in the trucks. It's amazing. So like he'll open the back of the truck and he'll have live lobsters, like the spiny lobsters, and he'll just say, which ones do you want? And I'll pick out the spiny lobsters. The halibut will be gutted. The shrimp will be live, but he has mainly everything live on his truck, and he ships them from the Pismo waters to Los Angeles and San Francisco.
No kidding. That's it.
What's the fish we have here? Yeah, I'm just trying to.
That's a step up from back in the day, because back in the day it was a pickup truck and an ice chest.
Well, when you worked, there weren't as many requirements or laws. Now the restaurant industry has changed. As you can see, I added some fresh basil from the garden. We're just you can see how the sauce is becoming more one. It's not like liquidy anymore. I don't know if you can see that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's kind of fusing together, and that's kind of the key to this dish. Is you want this to fuse. And then we're going to take a little bit of pasta. We're going to use a capellini pasta. Going to heat that up.
God, this brings back memories, man.
Like I said, Jay, you don't realize you worked in a beast of a restaurant. I mean, to put out 500 dinners in, 4 or 5 hours? You just tell any other chef that you did that, they'll be impressed. You know? Some of our dishes have 5, 6 components. What that means is, you know what that means, but I'll tell the person watching, is, you know, you're not just taking spaghetti marinara. I mean, we've got different items. Chicken parm, that's 1 component. You've got French beans, that's 2. You've got garlic mash, that's 3. Then you got the sauce, that's 4. You've got some garnished bell peppers on the French beans, that's 5. You got a little bit of parsley for garnish, that's 6. You got a 6-component dish. And to do 500 of those is amazing. You were a beast, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't doubt my talents at all. My partner in crime, Greg Hollenbach, doesn't believe a word you're saying. I know that for a fact.
Well, I'm just looking. Chef you look the same age as Jay, Chef. So, you know, how old were you when Jay worked in there? And are you sure you remember all this correctly?
Doug was a young guy. He was a young guy, man, for sure.
Oh, that looks delicious.
All right, just a little amatriciana, and once again, you can have this with. You can add anything you want to it. Like I said, this should be one of the mother sauces, just because it's, you know, salmon, fish. Oh, can you imagine? You can add capers, spinach, caper berries.
Yeah, I remember making that with salmon. That's salmon's little salmon strips. That's a popular additive to the capellini for sure.
Exactly what we're doing.
So you said 500 plates when Jay was working there, dinner service. What are you doing, you know, pre-coronavirus? What were you doing a month and a half ago?
I'd say we remodeled the restaurant. So the restaurant's a little smaller with a bigger bar area. So we're averaging about 400 now. So when Jay worked, the restaurant was bigger. It was actually sat at 50 people. But today it's a little smaller. Pre-coronavirus, 400 dinners.
Oh, sweet. Is that bigger bar paying off for you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the profits of the bar are significantly higher than profitability on food.
Yeah.
Hey, are you done with that dish right there? Is that plate done?
I am.
Oh, you are? Okay, I was wondering if it was plated. You were going to put any cheese on there, anything? Oh, it's all set.
A little parsley.
Oh, that's fantastic.
A little parsley in the window
that's
would be
a lot of food right there, Jay. Could you eat that whole plate?
Of course, man. I mean, it's just tomatoes, you know, and garlic. But it's so simple, but honestly, like, it's delicious. That is a delicious dish.
Just to let you guys know that are tuned in here, this is Chef Doug McMillan, Rosa's Italian in Pismo Beach, California, our neighbors on the left coast. And we're just checking in with Chef Doug here to not only reminisce and go down memory lane with Jay Parker, who worked there 35, 40 years ago. How old were you, 17?
17 to 19, man. 17, 18, 19.
Chef, what was the breaking point to where...
Oh, yeah. Well, I did all 3 sections. There's a pasta section. We called it or the paper. Now, Greg, this is back, and Doug, you'll know this. Man, the servers used to write down the orders on a yellow notepad, a binder note, write them down. Yeah. If they were a la carte, they would circle them, saying, like, they're not having super salad, just start making it and send it out.
I'm getting really upset with how productive and good you were, because I can't even get the guy to read an email, man. I mean, if 10 emails overwhelms him and he's doing 500 dishes with coming in on a sheet of paper that the waitresses wrote down, I think that he's given me a half-ass job over here, and he gave you 100%. What was it why'd you end up firing him? Because I know you fired him. Please tell me you fired him.
I did not. He left. He
yeah.
moved on.
Yeah.
What did you move on to do, Jay?
Work at a gas station. I was a gas attendant.
Oh my
goodness. Yeah. Man, I mean, I could tell you spots of that kitchen where there's meat sauce on the ceiling because I slipped and fell and the pot hit and shot. Straight up.
So tell me this. What year was this? Like 90 something?
This is like 90, 94, 95, 96.
What was your hourly wage in 96?
Truly, aside from the money that Doug, his mother, were giving me on the side, I think it was like $7.50 or $8 an hour or something like that. Does that sound right to you?
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
So you'd walk out with 2 crisp 20s and call it a night?
I mean, depending on how busy it was, I mean, the busier nights, and we called Ada Mama or Rosa. I mean, she had 4 different names, man. And I'll just say, I'll say this, Doug, like as much as, you influenced me at that age as far as culinary stuff goes. I mean, I'm not lying to you. Probably about 2 weeks ago, I cooked a penne dish with some sausage, and it's all based off of Rosa's, right? I put the garlic in, I put a little olive oil, I do the spices, I do some fresh basil, I hit it with white wine, I reduce it down a little bit. I mean, that's my MO for everything. But watching your mother hand make bracioli in this huge stock pot, right? Rolling them up from the mint that she grew in the 4x4 foot area great. In the parking lot, right? That was next to in between cars. And she'd go out and pick the fresh mint and come inside and roll the garlic and the fresh mint into the braciole and then cook it in the pot. And she, I carry everything for her, obviously. I mean, I'll tell you what, as cheeseball as it sounds, man, those are memories that help shaped just the way I see food, especially Italian, and the way I see Italian food, and I just it's important, man, and it's nostalgic, and it tears me up a little bit when I think about those kind of days. Now, not to mention your dad too, man. Your dad was just totally different in the sense, or he'd come back and I would have made a pizza for dinner, and he would come back and he'd touch, the pizza, and he'd just kind of move it from side to side a little bit and say, and just be like, oh, what's this? And I'm like, well, Bill, it's my dinner, and he's just putting his hands all over it. But he, what are you going to do? It's like, this is my restaurant and my pizza, he'd move it around. Anyway.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, man, good time. And I could go on for a long time about that because, again, those 3 years from 17 to 19, there's a lot of moving parts.
Well, I think he froze in time. He dresses the same as then, and his music taste is in 1995. So I think that period in time is really just indelible to Jay right now. It formed his life, and he stopped right there.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's without a doubt the happiest years thus far of my life. Yeah. I'm hoping that there are a few more ones that may trump the Rosa's days, but truly the Rosa's days in all aspects, work and ladies and everything else.
Chef Doug McMillan. Hey, Chef, you got to, maybe after this is all over again, he can come back there and work?
I was going to.
Hey, Jay, when you're in town, you can work my line.
I'm not lying, man. I would do it in a heartbeat, and I'd do it for free, and I would just, I'd try to show off a little bit, but I'll take you up on that without a doubt.
Now, that needs to happen. That needs to be happening.
Well, the last time I went home, and that's the first time where I saw Ada's from across the street, Ada's Fish House. I wanted
a tour. Walk us around the restaurant, would you?
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're in the kitchen.
Get out of here.
That's the salad section right there, off to the right. That's where they make all the salads.
Wow.
Yep, right there. This is the server station right here. Now, back in the day where Doug's going, that wall right there wasn't there. It was, you could actually see out in the dining room, and they had just one of those, wooden things.
Now, this looks old school Italian right here.
Yeah, man.
Huh? Yeah, look at that.
Isn't that beautiful?
All right, so Jay tells us a lot of
patio. That's the patio out there.
Jay tells us a lot of stories of folks that have gone through there. Chef.
Oh yeah. Hey Doug, walk over. Yeah. Walk over to the celebrity thing. Sorry.
It's okay.
Go ahead. I'm excited.
You take over, Jay.
Oh, you don't have him over there?
Yeah. I'll just let you finish up.
No. Greg, do your thing. Go ahead, because you have intelligent questions. I have I fell down right there.
Come on, seriously. I want you to finish up.
Doug, do you remember when Ed O'Neill came in? And obviously the whole Christina Applegate and Bob. Do you ever talk to Bob Applegate? Is he still alive or anything?
All the time.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah. He's doing great.
Is he? Tell him.
Okay, prove it. Pick the phone up out of your pocket and call him right now.
We're using the phone.
That's a pretty good answer, Chef. That's a pretty good answer. Well, I don't know if you remember this, right?
Look at the corks up there.
So
that's cool.
In the days of when I worked there, right, right around there, mid 90s, Married with Children was a huge show, and Bob Applegate, Christina Applegate's father, worked there. He was a server / MC for the toga nights and the themed parties that you guys used to do. And so Ed O'Neill and Rick Moranis were in town filming the movie Little Giants. That's why they were there. So Ed O'Neill came in for dinner because of the connection to Bob and Christina, and like, okay, let's get a plate. And I remember he had penne alla bolognese, and I also remember when the folks were like, and I don't know if you'll remember this or not, but they're like, hey, Ed O'Neill's here. And I was a huge Married with Children fan because of obvious reasons, And they said, we're going to take a picture with Ed O'Neill on the patio. And so I was like, oh, far out, man. And I shot to the back and I put on a fresh, not a chef coat, but a white kitchen line shirt, coat for a cook. And I G'd up, made sure that I looked as good as I can look, man. And I walked out there and they handed me the camera and I was heartbroken. And I took a picture. So I had to take the picture instead of be in the picture with Ed O'Neill. And in the picture.
That picture.
Is that picture not there anymore?
Have it.
Where? Is it on the wall or is it at your house?
It's in the office.
It's in the office, man. I would love to see that picture, man.
Yeah, here we
Let's
go.
do it. So this is, and we'll check my memory because I could be way off base.
Yeah,
right?
If you're in the picture, I'm going to be really.
This is what I remember. I remember I'm in the picture, but in a weird reflection from where I was taking it. In a window. It was there or something like that, man.
Like these guys on Facebook, your new friend in Pismo Beach, and Chef Doug McMillan joins us from Rosa's Italian. This is Jay's stomping ground 35 years ago. And just so cool to be able to see. Oh, is the pictures in the vault in the archives?
All right, man. Let's see.
So while he's looking for the picture, Jay, tell a quick story to Doug of one that he wouldn't want to hear that you've done in there.
Oh, geez, man.
One that he wouldn't want to hear.
That he wouldn't want to hear?
Wouldn't want to hear. Like, don't.
Okay, I'll tell you this much. Now, since Rosa's, I turned into a complete derelict as far as doing things in a restaurant or bar that I shouldn't do, right? But at Rosa's, truthfully, I was pretty well behaved. But I mean, also what pops into my head is I remember a time when all of us employees were playing games for money. Right. And it was after hours. And so we were doing like the one guy ate a peppermint patty with the foil on it for like $4. Right.
That's not too bad.
God, I think it was Brian Melton. Do you remember that, dude?
There's the picture.
Okay. So there's the picture. Now look up in the left hand corner in that window. Doug,
my God. Can you
am I in that window? Hold on. Oh, look, you can see me right there. Look at that. But you don't see my head. You just see my arm and shoulder.
Oh, my God. This story is true.
Look at that, man.
And you took the picture.
I took the picture, yeah.
Look at all these.
Look at there's Doug. Check him out, man.
Doug.
Ed O'Neill's right next to him.
Ed.
See, I'm not crazy,
that's
man. Oh, God.
Right
and that's Bob Applegate right next to Ed O'Neill.
That's good
Al
stuff
Bundy.
Right there.
Holy moly, man. I could seriously, man, this makes me just want to drive back to California and talk to you about nothing.
You should.
I mean, honestly, what a great time.
This is actually pretty heartwarming in a time to where folks really need memories and just looking at the way things were to get back. And I know you guys will be reunited at some point. And that'll be a good time. Just the story, shooting the breeze, Take us. Speaking of that, what kind of day is it outside in Pismo right now?
It's the same as it is every day.
Yeah, 72 and sunny.
Yeah, we get it's Central Coast is overcast a lot, so you do it looks nice.
Go outside for a second if you can. We're just demanding you guys.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
over the place.
That's a little area right there. There's the bib in the box room. Freezer's over to the left. I stayed in that freezer. Right there. I stayed in that freezer for like 26 minutes for like $9. I swear, man, I'm not joking. We used to play those weird games, but that was like the worst thing. Pete, that's the pizza area right there. Everything's a lot different. Man. God, you remember? That's their homemade bread they use for their dinner loaves, and I think do you still use that for your pizza crust for the dough?
Yes.
Oh, it looks nice.
That's the back porch, man.
So, Chef, is everything in Denver, there's stay-at-home orders? I'm assuming you have stay-at-home or shelter in place. I know you're essential, but the rest of the folks, is it pretty quiet outside?
Yeah, it's very quiet. Traffic almost nullified. We do have stay-at-home orders.
Yeah. When
the batteries on your phone are about to die.
So May 11th, perfect timing because we have a couple minutes left. May 11th is our scheduled reopen date for restaurants here in Denver. Do you have a scheduled reopen date?
We do not that I'm aware of.
Boy, that's a tough condition to work under, huh?
Not knowing is hard.
So spend 2 minutes to talk about what you guys have done to pivot and how many employees you were able to keep on. You probably furloughed quite a few of them, huh?
Yeah, we furloughed probably 80%, kept about 20%.
Yeah.
Employees between both restaurants. So we have about 20 working right now.
Great. Too much. That's
hey,
fantastic.
You remember the time you trying to show off with that new Mustang you bought when we were at a party and I took the Mustang? He threw the keys to me. He walked in, kind of strutting a little bit. Doug, I mean, listen, man, Doug can strut. Don't he's a good guy like that. And he came in and he had this new black convertible Mustang with brown leather interior. And I said, being a smart ass, and I said, hey man, let me get those keys and take it for a spin. And he threw them to me like nothing and just kept walking.
2 hours.
So
We're gone for 2
hours. I was gone for 2 hours. I picked up.
What'd you do?
I picked up a couple friends. I was driving fast on the highway. I was dead sober though, so that's the good news. But I picked up some. I came back and he was, he was a little hot, not hot enough to hit me, but he was hot, and I gave him the car back, and he went on his merry way with a young lady. I was driving around my jerk friends.
Yeah. What are you driving these days, Doug? Is that your car right there?
Right there, Wild Chef.
Wild Chef.
Is that your license plate, Wild Chef?
Yeah.
That's cool, man. He's got the Yukon. Wild Chef.
Check him out.
Nice, man.
There it is.
You know what? I've heard a lot of stories about you, Chef, in the restaurant, and every time Jay goes out there, he pays you a visit. Yeah, you have a hoodie. How come you didn't wear your hoodie today, Jay?
I did. I know, and I do wear that hoodie, Doug, that you gave me the last time I was out. I forgot to wear it today.
Well, now I'm a fan, and I want a hoodie next time, Chef, if that's okay. And we'll pay for it. No gimmies. Well, no, if you could give. No,
I'll give you a hoodie. I'll send it to you.
Nice. And I'm coming out there to visit too, man. I would expect a lot of people should too. Is this going out on Doug's Facebook page?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Guys, get in there. Support Chef Doug McMillan and Rosa's Italian. I'm sure you've been around for how many years?
32 years here.
First time the dining room's been shut down in 32 years.
First time.
God, it's so bittersweet talking to you. It really is.
Good catching up.
Well, let's do it again when we get open.
I love it.
All right. Thank you, Chef.
All right. Good to see you guys. Stay safe.
Yeah,
thanks, buddy.
Bet. There it is. What'd that do to you, Jay? That was cool seeing the photo, the photograph.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Wasn't that? I told you. Wait, no, it wasn't cool. That was terrible.
Why?
Because I wasn't in it.
No, I mean, if you were in it, the story wouldn't be as good.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? And
yeah,
being in the
true.
window. I mean, at least you can. It's Friday. It's Friday, right? It's a good Friday. And thanks for joining us. It's April 10th, or otherwise known as March 41st. Just the days and the weeks dragging on. It's day 16 of shelter in place. Day 26 out of 57. 33 days to go before you get back into your favorite restaurant and dining room. Standing by for Monse Hines. And Monse's she's just a wonderful lady. Colorado Springs, right, Jay?
Yeah. Monse's Taste of El Salvador. And if you haven't had, if you haven't had Salvadorian food,
yeah,
you're not living, because it's delicious. And it's different. It's a little bit different.
You like it?
I love it.
Honey bunchies. Describe honey bunchies.
God, I love some honey bunchies too. They're gourmet honey bars, right? And they've got nuts, and I don't know if it's caramel, but it's something nougat style that binds it all together. But they're absolutely delicious.
And they're trying to do like everybody else is, staying in business, and I think they're down to two-man band.
Kendra Bennett, and it's all in the family business, right, to begin with. And she says it's down to just her and her brother for every aspect of it when it comes to actually making the honey bunchies and keeping production going, and then sales and admin and everything else. They've had to let go, some people and send some people home.
And speaking checking in right now, there's Tim.
Let me fix my camera here, guys.
That's all right. Turn it sideways if you can.
Yeah.
Boom.
He's got one of them Samsungs.
Oh, it won't go sideways.
Back to vertical. Yeah, Samsung's a little bit weird with this.
Is it a Samsung?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
It's coming in good. The audio's great. Turn that volume down just a little bit because it's a little bit too hot, Jay.
Gotcha.
Cool. Hi, guys. This is Monse Hines and Tim Hines and Monse's Taste of El Salvador. Where are you guys at today?
We're here at the restaurant, actually, right in Colorado Springs.
Very cool. Talk about the restaurant.
All right. Well, so besides these recent changes, everything else, for the most part, is normal, with the exception that we're doing takeout and delivery curbside. We've adjusted our hours slightly away from our morning hours because we're just not seeing the foot traffic we normally do. But weekends are still the weekends. We're getting a lot of support today. It's been great.
Yeah, you guys are doing a lot of good posting on Facebook as well to keep people up to date on what you're doing. Talk about the food, the style of food, and then I understand you're going to cook something for us today.
Yes, so we specialize in food from El Salvador.
Hi, Monse.
Hi, Greg.
It's
nice to see you.
It's nice to see you.
So we make food from El Salvador. The restaurant specializes in pupusas. So that's what we do every day. It's a pupuseria. And we have here and there other plates are Salvadorian, but everything is just exactly how we do it in my country.
Explain to folks what a pupusa is.
Okay, so pupusa is, like I said, food from El Salvador. We use organic corn masa like tortilla.
Mm-hmm.
And inside we can stuff them with pretty much anything. So we can custom made the product by order. So we can make it vegan, meat, vegetarian, anything. And then we fry them like a big pockets. So when the pupusa is cooked and the masa cooked very crispy, all the cheese and green chilies start melting. So it's really good. It's coming very popular in Colorado Springs, and we love the support.
Because of you guys, right?
Yeah, because of
her.
Because of you and your love. What's your favorite ingredients on the inside?
My favorite pupusa is the carnitas, green chili, and cheese.
How about?
And my second one is the loroco, which is a traditional flour from El Salvador. And so we import the flour, the loroco, we put it with cheese, and then you pretty much eating flour with cheese, and that pupusa is amazing. It's extremely popular.
Are there dessert ones?
No, in El Salvador, people start inventing now, but it's nothing that it come from, back then.
Is that a no-no, a naughty one?
It's pretty much no. I don't know how I will be tortilla with any sweets, but we for sure making other traditional desserts here.
As the official taste tester, though, I will provide feedback if we do anything sweet.
Oh, good. I like that. You guys are absolutely adorable. What are you going to cook for us today?
Well, I think I should make a pupusa.
I think you're right.
People have to see how we made the pupusa. So I'm going to leave Tim here in a little bit so I can go get ready all the masa and everything. So I'm going to see you guys soon.
Okay.
And how's the speed coming if we're going to bring this camera so you can actually see something?
It's actually very good. Is there a way, do you see on the screen? Yep. Where you turn it around. I think he's giving it a shot, or he's just gone completely.
No, I'm here.
Tim, you're actually on this end, you're gone.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
I'm back.
Yeah. Is there a button I'm asking for trouble, but is there a button on the front of your screen that shows kind of a turnaround to your other camera?
It does.
Yep.
Yeah, it does. I'm gonna push that.
Push that.
And you're probably gonna see a door.
Okay.
I hope.
Yeah. Let's see if it pops up. Nothing yet.
Come on,
Nothing
technology.
Yet. Nothing yet. Okay. Nope.
No,
that's not working. So we'll do that. You just have to keep in mind that, you're going to have to kind of wing it a little bit to show.
Turn it around. I mean,
all right, I'll do that.
All right. So as we are waiting for Monse to get ready, how much longer do you think it'll take her to get ready?
We're ready.
Oh, ready.
We don't wait long at all.
Let's rock and roll. Let's do this.
All right. So I'm going to try not to move too fast to keep a decent feed.
I love it.
I will follow Monse, and then if she gets too far from the mic, I'll help narrate a little bit on what's going on.
Okay, cool.
So you cannot flip.
No, I can't flip it. So I'm just going to follow her, and you just let me know. Your volume's really good, so you let me know if something isn't seen.
All right, you got it.
All right, I'm going to go in. We're going into the kitchen right now.
We're going in. All right, Monse's kitchen. And this is going to be fun. Gonna get a cool kitchen. Oh, well, just froze a little bit or a lot bit.
Kick back in. Here we go.
Is it gonna happen?
Here it is. Let's kick it in, man.
If you guys had any idea this technology piece,
I
think Tim will figure it out though.
Well, I mean, let's hope.
Again, going into the kitchen of Monse Hines, a taste of El Salvador.
All right,
Colorado Springs. There you are. Yep. Hello.
Well, let's see what we got.
All right, you're going to hear a little bit more noise in here because of the hood, but I'm going to do my best to show.
Oh,
so
you got it.
We're right here at our large plancha, and Monse's going to take over.
Hi.
Hi, go get them.
We're in my kitchen.
Love it. Let's see it.
Put a little bit back, Tim, so they can see all our setup and how we have. Yes, perfect. Let me see. So I'm going to show you right now our masa, and also because I think I'm going to make the traditional loroco with the flour, so you guys can see. Okay, so here we have our dough.
All ready to go.
All our mixes. Oh, let me see. I hope I can say yes.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
So this one is the loroco one, the loroco with cheese. And like I tell you, it's a flour with cheese. Okay, you can see that. Okay, so the first step to make a pizza, we have mix our hands on some oil. This is all masa.
Hey, Tim, I'm wondering if your finger's on the microphone. Tim? Hey, Tim, can you hear me? Is your finger on the microphone? Is your finger on the microphone?
It is not. How about now?
Okay, that's better. Just keep it close to Monse.
You bet.
There you go.
Okay, so here we're going to make the tortilla, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now we're going to grab some of the mix, and we're going to put it.
Even I could do that.
Yeah, this is super easy. Even you can make it. So now we're going to make a ball again. You can go a little bit farther. Yes. And now we're going to make the pupusa.
All right.
And this is a very traditional. The way that I'm going to pat it right now is a traditional Salvadorian way. If the lady make it this way, you know that she learned in her country. So right. You start.
It's all in the slap.
At the slap, but at the same time, the pupusa is turning. It's turning. So it's something that you learn in your country. And this is a pupusa. So now we're going to bring it and we're going to throw it in the grill. And Tim can show you all the pupusas cooking right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, it smells even better than it looks.
Pupusa.
I love that flat top.
Yeah, la plancha.
So when they're ready, we know how they are ready when they start turning crispy.
That's what I was going to ask.
You can see here a little bit all the cheese and everything inside start melting.
Oh.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all.
What do one of those cost?
So right now we have here all cheese flavors. So we have the chicken and cheese, black bean and cheese, carnitas, revueltas, that is the carnitas and green chili. And we have some mushroom, chile poblano, and cheese.
Good stuff. So how many varieties are available, if you can hear me, Monse?
15 flavors.
Yeah, we've got 15 flavors, and that includes a combination of various meats and cheese, vegetarian styles, and then we've got 6 different vegan flavors as well. And then we've expanded our menu quite a bit, like Monse said, of traditional Salvadoran food, but it also includes breakfast. You can get a pupusa ranchero, which is one of my favorite. Pick the flavor pupusa you want, add an egg the way you like it done, our ranchero sauce, and then we pick a side that you like. And there's a number. We probably got 6 or 7 different breakfasts that we do.
Crazy John Irvin chimes in and says that you guys are now using his some of his breads and waffle pancake mix.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge hit. Cinnamon toast. We got our own cinnamon toast breakfast plate. We do tortas, like it's sort of a thick sandwich, if you will. We use all gluten-free in the entire restaurant. We've been using John's products. Phenomenal. Awesome feedback, and it's nice for local to support local.
I love that. And saying phenomenal is the only word John knows how to say. So that works.
Well, delicious is what we say on this side.
I know you're tuned into the Modern Eater Show, the voice of Colorado culinary. Here with you every day from 2 to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 p.m. on Saturday, our iHeartRadio show. If you're not watching, you're not paying attention. You're seeing the good work of these folks and just doing like everybody else and pivoting, and you guys are getting ready, and folks can come pick them up. Are you doing deliveries as well? How is this working out, you guys?
So, no, we're not doing delivery yet, but we do takeout. We do curbside if people come here. It's a large free parking lot where we're located in Old Colorado City. We do orders by the phone. We also work with Grubhub and DoorDash. So if people do want something delivered, it's not us delivering it, but DoorDash or Grubhub are great options.
Yeah, I have to imagine that holds up pretty well in delivery too.
It does, actually. I mean, we got the whole system is like Monse said, because it's made to order. We can gauge pretty well based on how busy it's getting or not, the time frame that something's going to be ready. So people have kind of that are here locally, they know what to expect, and it doesn't take very long to get it to the door, or they come right on time when it's being made fresh, so it's still hot in the bag.
How can people get a hold of you? I think do we have a phone number or a link, Jay?
I've been putting their website up.
Is that the best way to order, you guys, Tim Monse?
So if you're going to go through ordering online, DoorDash or Grubhub, and you can look up Monse's Taste of El Salvador. If you wanted to call in to place an order over the phone, we could take payment on the phone, or we get payment when you pick up. And our phone number is 719-473-0877.
Give me that again.
719-473-0877.
Call them. This is a great family-owned and operated business. These are the folks that you want to support. Local is everything right now, and you can see that they're doing not only. You do business with these guys at Monse's Taste of El Salvador. Not only are you doing business with them, but you're doing business with other local vendors with their products too, and that's what's really cool about this. Are those almost done, Monse?
Almost done?
Because we're going to have you cut into one. Actually, what's that young lady's name right there?
That's Danielle.
Hi, Danielle. Is that your daughter?
No, Danielle's one of our finest employees. She works the front. She's working the back of the house. She's kind of all around.
How many? Does she eat those?
Oh, absolutely.
I was gonna. Somebody has to rip into one of those and eat one for us, because we have to be jealous and see how delicious it is.
No, she's a great candidate for that.
Good. I'm glad you offered her up. It would have sounded weird if I did it, so I'm glad you stepped in.
Yeah, that's good. No, we'll be good. It's always, like I said, taste testing, one of the finer duties we have back of the house. So I'll walk around here. Monse's about to plate one here.
Uh-oh, here it comes.
So this one is a chicken and cheese. It's all crispy. It's just so good.
What else do you need in life than that, Jay?
Not much, man. I'll tell you. I say it all the time. Especially when I do the Aspen baking, reads. I'm a bread guy. Dough, anything bread, dough, tortilla, flour related is my jam, man.
I think everybody is.
And watching Monse get down on that grill with those pupusas and cheese, I can't even. I have to look away and do something on my computer because it makes me crazy.
Oh yeah, and like I said, I wish this would give it the smells as well. There's such a variety right now on the plancha. It's kicking out some serious heat, and it's a nice. I mean, especially fresh. And it depends. So one thing unique here, we always tell people that it's unfortunate if it's their first time they can't dine in. We don't put silverware on the table. We do have it available, but it's very traditional to eat this with your hands. We have different sides. One called curtido. It's sort of a dairy-free coleslaw. A pickled cabbage salad that goes with it. I'm going to have some of that. We'll show when we dig into it. We make our own traditional sauces in-house. I got a mild red tomato sauce and our own jalapeno sauce with a little bit of a bite to it. And we'll show a little bit of both of those. But the overall product is great. Something else, those who are listening, when you talk about flavors, one unique menu item we have is called a pupusa Colorado. You pick the pupusa that you like, but it's also topped with the meat of your choice, pico de gallo and sour cream. It's a hearty meal.
Yeah, it's so good. People love it with carne asada. We also make a vegan carne asada, which people love it as well.
What's wrong with that? Nothing.
Hey, Monse, how would you describe? Because a lot of people that I've come in contact with over the years kind of think that Salvadorian food and Mexican food are the same thing, or at least close to it. How would you explain the differences?
Well, I feel like many dishes change it. We will describe all Central America or Latin American food, describe that we use a lot of corn, but everything is made different ways. Mexico is big in chiles. We use other kind of chiles, less spicy, but we have some similar stuff, like very Latin America, but Mexico does more moles and more spicy chiles. We do more mild chiles. We don't make so many moles. It's a little bit just less spicy and more every country have their traditional dish.
Gotcha.
You can see your passion for pupusas just shining through right now, Monse.
Well, I love cooking and I love to share I love to just share with people what we make in El Salvador, our food, and also experience a little bit about our culture, who we are. That's why if you go to the restaurant, all the pictures in my restaurants are about my family, my house, my grandma's house, my church, everything is me. So you can come and see all the restaurant pictures, and it's like my grandma's house, my church, everything. So you can feel like connected with me.
And then there's one picture of Tim's family in the corner.
Yeah, on the bookshelf with the to-go stuff.
With the to-go stuff. I love it.
These are the best.
We have some really neat photos, actually. Some of them are from Monse in her younger years. Our youngest daughter is 10 now, and there's a picture where Monse is about the same age at a market in Chalchuapa, her hometown. And it's a spitting image, actually. It's a lot of fun when people come and they kind of walk around or they're waiting for the food or different games that they play at the table while they're waiting. It's nice. I think people don't always realize that supporting local is good to keep things in the community. But for our perspective, you're keeping a family going with a dream that we had and allowing us a chance to introduce ourselves through food, through Monse. And it's awesome. I mean, it's really cool. I'm the chatterbox that's in the front. I don't have much support in the kitchen, unfortunately. But I make sure that people care about their experience. It's our only motto. It's more than food. It's an experience.
How many of those do you put out in a day? If you were to guess.
How many pupusas we put out in a day?
Well, in a busy Friday, Saturday, we can make 3,000 to 3,500 pupusas.
Wow.
It's not something like
How many did she say?
3,000.
Yeah, about little more than 3,000 a day, probably.
Oh my!
I mean, is that
gosh.
possible?
I mean, that's a lot of pupusa.
I know.
Yeah, I tell people all the time. the thing that my duties aren't the luxurious ones. I'm the one that carries the bags of masa in the storage room, and we go through about 2,500 pounds of organic corn masa every 2 months. So that's a lot of masa.
All right, we need to open one of these up, or I'm going to
All
go
right,
crazy.
let's hit it right now. We got to open it up. All right, we're plating it right now. We're going to cut into it. I'm going to walk to the corner here and put some curtido and sauce on it so you can see the colors on how something would be plated. And then we'll have Danny here help us out by biting in a little bit and telling you what her feedback is.
All right,
Okay,
Danny.
the pupusa is ready. So you can check a little bit. Let me open it. And when you open it, you can see it over here. Ooh,
Nice.
it's so hot, but it's just so good. So we're going to put, Danny, can you put me some curtido? We're going to serve it right now. How traditional we eat it in El Salvador. We put the curtido. We can put it somewhere.
However you like it, Danny. That's exactly.
Well, this is, yeah, you wanna, but this is exactly how we eat it in El Salvador. Hold on, let me see. And we put some salsa.
This is just the best.
And then we put some spicy sauce. So
yeah, I want it hot.
You want to see a very traditional way? We mix everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then eat it.
I'm going to give a bite, but very traditional, and I'm going to show you how we eat it in El. So that's how we eat it in El Salvador. Dani learned even Spanish, like she's been with us, and she learned Spanish and talked to us like Salvadorian. So in El Salvador, you eat pupusas with your hands. So show to me here. So when you, let me see here. So this is how we eat it. Let me see. Hold on. I don't want to be exactly.
It's perfect.
So we grab a piece. We cut it with our hand. We grab the curtido on the top, and this is how we eat it.
Oh, God. Yes, please. Yes, please. And thank you. And
I'm starving.
If you are super want to upgrade the pupusa, we can put carne asada on top.
Now
and we can put all the stuff, and you put al pastor or chorizo. And it's just so good. All the cheese with the crispy tortilla. It's so good.
Yes. I love it, Monse.
It's so good. I need to bring you guys sometime when this happens. After all these COVID things, I need to bring you guys pupusas.
Please do. We miss you so much. I don't know. I can't even remember the last time we saw you, but we'll see you guys again. And another bite, Monse. I know your mouth is already.
Very Salvadorian bite. Okay, so we cut the piece. We grab it, all the curtido like a pocket.
Mm-hmm. Use your hands.
That's it.
Use your hands. Look at that. All right.
It's so good enough.
Colorado Springs friends, give them a call, 719-473-0877.
Thank you, Greg. We really appreciate it.
Well, you guys are awesome.
We love you guys. Monse and Tim Hines. Monse's Taste of El Salvador, and she just showed you the love and the passion, and that makes the food taste delicious. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Greg.
We'll see you soon.
All right, guys. Take care.
That's great, man. That is so fantastic, man. Thank you all for tuning in. Here it is. The Modern Eater Show continues. They did a great job.
Yeah. They're just so you know, they're muted, just so you know.
Jared Leonard's in. David joins us. Of course, John Irvin. John Irvin did some things. They have to hang up.
Tim, if you can hear me, man,
hang up, Tim.
Leave that chat room, would you?
Hang up, Tim. Hang up. There he is. This is cool. All right, give me some sponsor appreciation music. We're going to get the laptop. You ready?
Yeah.
Sponsor appreciation. All right, we got to thank all of our sponsors. Foodservice, man. Not much money out there. We appreciate each and every one of you. Got to look at A+Beverage Solutions. We love you. And Jeff Rourke will be on soon. Arden Mills, Aspen Baking Company. Let's do an Aspen Baking Company live right now. They want you to know. Guess what, Jay? They're still open.
They are.
They're open and ready to do business. Aspen Baking Company, box lunches, flexible terms right now. Quick credit. They call it quick credit. Quick credit check. Get you on your way. You need COD. You need, payable terms. They'll do it right now. A full array is available. It's available to you, and by direct, you can do that now. Look them up on Amazon Fresh. Amazon Fresh, you can get your favorite bread, Aspen Baking Company. They're still alive. We all are. We're keeping it going. The voice of Colorado culinary, got to thank Brews Beers. Brews Beers doing it great, and Curbside, too. Also on Wednesday nights, what do? Trivia on their Facebook page. Meridium Spirits, Encore Energy, Ewing Levitt, Gluten-Free Things, Growers Organic, Hot Schedules by 4, Jefferson Farms, Proud Souls Barbecue, Rocker Spirits, Element Knife Company, Rome Sausage, The Spice Guy, and The Goods. Guess what, Jay?
What?
We've added a new sponsor.
Oh, yes, we have.
This gentleman is a sweetheart. It is Friday. It's a good Friday. And couldn't thank him more. He's going to join us. Rich O'Brien from Elevation Foodservice Reps. He's in love with the show. Why wouldn't you be?
I mean, I can't blame him. There's a lot of people in love with the show, and that's a good thing.
Got to make a grocery run. Well, that sounds. Why am I out here risking my life? Corona, where's a goddamn parking space? Shit, I touched my face. Wait, I think I finally caught my corona.
Keeping it going. Larry Herz is going to join us at 4 p.m. What time is it now, Jay?
It's about 3:25.
Where are we standing by for?
Honey Bunchies.
Honey Bunchies. They're late to the dance.
3:30.
3:30.
Yeah.
5 more minutes.
Well, I mean, I'll fire it off.
Jeff Rourke and A+Beverage Solutions, Dr. Sara Metz, every single day. She comes and helps us out. Hey, that gluten-free thing, you remember? Mm-hmm. They supply, what was it that he said to Monse?
Oh, the waffle and pancake mix, and then some breads. He didn't specify, just says breads.
Takeout delivery, gluten-free things is a dedicated gluten-free bakery. Find everything from crostinis and hot dog buns, pitas, and pizza crusts to graham crackers, cookies, cupcakes, all the gluten-free things you need. He's a dedicated gluten-free vegan bakery in Arvada. We call him the Crazy John, the wizard of gluten-free. He's doing a great job, too.
He is doing a great job.
Rome Sausage. What about Rome Sausage?
God, I love Rome Sausage.
Now delivering $60 bundle of awesomeness. It's an assorted 10-pound box of breakfast sausage, breakfast links, Italian meatballs, jalapeno cheddar brats, bratwurst, chicken apple sausage, Italian sausage, green chili sausage, chorizo, and hot Polish kielbasas. That whole box will come to you and your family. Only $60. These are kind of values. And throw it in your freezer, too.
Yeah. That'll last you a couple
I'm
weeks.
going to have some tonight with some pasta.
I may or may not have stolen a sausage pack from our freezer.
What's wrong with that?
No, nothing.
It's yours.
Well, I know, but
Rome Sausage, romesausage.com, 303-296-7663. Call him up. He'll give you a sausage joke.
Or he'll listen to yours.
Yes, he will listen to yours. Point is, these are great Colorado businesses, keeping the light on for you, telling you the stories every day, Monday through Friday, from 2 to 5 p.m. Follow us on our social media. We got some good stuff, man. 5 years. Happy anniversary, Jay.
Thank you.
This Saturday, 5 years, the Modern Eater Show.
This Saturday.
Tomorrow.
I was going to say, now wait a minute. Chef
Saturday.
Travis Smith's going to do a little something for us.
Tomorrow. He's going to come in studio?
Yeah, Bistro Colorado. Cool. He's going to come in and he's going to stay 10 feet away. And he's going to, I don't know what he's cooking yet. I wish I could tell you. I just don't know. But he's going to party with us.
No Sonia Riggs today from the Colorado Restaurant Association. You can tell the associations that are working right now, and you can tell the associations that aren't. Colorado Restaurant Association, working hard for you and me.
Yeah.
Sonia Riggs, boy, man, her and her team, we've got something in the works there. Something in the works. They've been connecting in some good webinars with folks. And I think what we're going to be able to do is clip their webinar.
Oh, nice. Hijacking
on Monday, I hope. And I might have went too fast on that because Sonia's like, let's talk offline about it. Maybe she's going to tell me no. that it can't happen.
Well, I mean, we just want to help further the information they're putting out because it's valuable for everybody in this industry.
I'm sitting here looking at cool things that people are doing. John Irvin's, man, there's so many people doing innovative stuff right now. This pop-up at Lever's Locavore, this apparel is fantastic that they're doing. And Rebecca Berry from Fourth, who, guess what?
Hey,
Fourth is proud sponsor of the Modern Eater Show, HR and payroll services. These guys will do it for you. They call it a layer of protection, Jay. You need that. Jay, do you use protection?
Every chance I get.
You need to use protection, and Fourth can protect you. Here it is. They have all of the resources, whether it's payroll services, insurance, as far as onboarding folks. They have hot schedules as well. If you want any kind of advice right now on how to navigate these turbulent times with your business, and you're kind of like, oh man, I'm putting myself out on an island, don't do that. Get help from the experts. Rebecca Berry, she's going to offer you advice. Rebecca.berry@fourth.com. Why not? Here is our next guest, and I'm so glad that she joined us. It's been a while because Kendra Bennett and Honey Bunches. Here it is. It must be 3:30 because we're seeing your face right now.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
We love Honey Bunchies.
Yay.
Good to see you. First of all, take just a minute to talk about Honey Bunchies and what it is.
Sure. Well, Honey Bunchies is a gourmet honey bar. Almost half the bar is pure honey. And then it has peanuts and pecans, and it's wrapped in lightly salted and roasted sunflower kernels. It's gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free. Awesome source of energy because of all the honey that's in there, and it tastes amazing.
Hold one up for us.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Rip one open.
Oh my gosh. I'm holding my computer with one hand. There's.
Well, dude, like we all do. We open it with our teeth.
All right.
Come on. We're not. Ain't no shame in my game. All right. I'd tell you to take a bite of one, but can you rip it open? Oh, look at that. I just like to see it stretch.
Oh, man. This one's frozen. Wait a minute. I have one that's not. Hold on.
I actually eat those frozen.
They're so good. They're good frozen. They're good refrigerated. They're good warm and melty. All right.
They are delicious.
Okay. Let's try this.
All right. You do have a table, right? You can put your computer on your table.
Kind of. Oh, yeah, this is not going to work well.
Unfrozen one. Oh, yeah, you'll figure it out. This is perfect. Oh, these are Honey Bunchies.
And they are so good. For the last road trip, Kendra was on the show right before we left and was gracious enough to give us a few boxes for our road trip. And man, did that make our lives a lot easier.
Yeah, what was your inspiration of Honey Bunchies?
Actually, my dad was trying to make a snack that my mom made for him 35 years ago, and neither one had the recipe. So he spent 3 months in his kitchen just guessing, and it was supposed to be like a soft peanut brittle. He never got it right, but he ended up accidentally making what is now Honey Bunchies and named it after my mom, who he calls Honey Bunchy. And here we are now. My mom, my dad, my brother, and I all work together around the clock.
So now, I don't know. What was your staff pre-coronavirus?
It's small. Yeah. It was small. We actually had pared down already because we went through our slow season in the winter. So we had already cut back, unfortunately. And being true entrepreneurs, rolling up our sleeves and handling every aspect of the business between the four of us, my mom, my brother, and my dad and I. And we make the bars by hand in our facility here in Colorado. Every bar takes 3 days to make, and my brother and I are in there making them.
What? 3 days? What do you do to them?
It's magic. It's a process. It's extremely hard to make honey bunchies, and it's super easy to mess it up. So we're in there day in and day out cranking those things out. A lot of times when we fill orders, we fill all of our online orders for both Amazon and our website right here in our facility. A lot of times my brother will be literally that morning packing bars we just wrapped into boxes, and I'm putting them into shipping boxes and slapping labels on them. So people get bars that we just made. We truly are just-in-time production.
How's business right now?
It's good. It's been interesting.
Yeah.
You know, there's, I think, like many packaged goods, there's some that are having a hard time keeping up with demand. You know, if you're making beef jerky right now, or canned soup, it's crazy. So we've actually seen an increase in our online sales from people staying at home.
Well, let's face it. I mean, that's bug out kit, end of the world food right there.
I think it should be.
It really. I mean, I have 42 of those things in a duffel bag, ready to just run out the door.
Yeah, it's got a 7-month shelf life. You don't need to refrigerate it, so it'll last you a little while.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and if you're going to stock food, you might as well stock something you actually enjoy eating. So, yeah, it's been good. We have seen shifts, though. You know, it's our retailers. We had a lot of retailers that were schools and hardware stores, coffee shops, resorts, and hotels. And, you know, unfortunately, they've all had to close their doors, which is so sad. But that was a big chunk of our business right there. But we've seen it shift to online, and we're in a lot of grocery stores, and that continues fairly steady. But, you know, like everyone else, we're just trying to figure out, what does next week look like? What does tomorrow look like? And what do we need to do to stay ahead of it a little bit and be able to support our retailers and our customers and make sure that they're getting what they need? And you know, fortunately, we have not had any supply chain issues. So knock on wood. We're getting all of our ingredients in, and we're able to get product out to all of our retailers and all of our customers with no problem. So
perfect. Is that your production facility that you're at right now?
This is our office inside of our production facility. It's a shoebox, and my brother and I work about 8 feet apart from each other. It's cozy.
Where's he now? Did you tell him to be quiet? He's over in the corner.
I did tell him to be quiet, and then he said, well, I have to go home. Okay. Well, that makes it easy.
That gave him an excuse to
I was
go
going to
home,
say, that's an excuse. Hey, Chef Paul Huddleston on Facebook just chimed in there, Kendra, and he says, can I get it from Cisco or others, and are they gluten-free?
Oh, great question. They are gluten-free. They're also grain-free and soy-free. And Cisco does not currently carry honey bunchies, though you should ask them to. That would be a great idea. We are, you know, through different distributors. We work with KeHE and DPI. Those are two of our bigger ones. And we work with a lot of the small regional distributors here in Colorado. There's a lot of them. So if he knows of any of the smaller distributors, it would be a great way to support them, and you know, be able to use wholesale pricing for his needs. We're also available on Amazon and on our website, honeybunchies.com.
What's the best? What would be the way you recommend folks get it that's best for you?
Well, for us, through honeybunchies.com. It's direct to us. We don't have a lot of fees that are being taken out, which can happen through other modes. So honeybunchies.com is the best place to order to support us directly. And then, of course, if you go to if you happen to be in your grocery stores, which you shouldn't be, you should be staying home and hopefully ordering, you know, Instacart or another delivery method. But our grocery stores, Sprouts, Whole Foods, Natural Grocers, King Soopers, City Market, they all still carry honey bunchies too. So if you're ordering your groceries in, you can get it from those places as well.
Wow, you guys, that's pretty impressive for the small band that you have going on over there.
Work hard.
Is there a kitchen nearby that we can see or something like that?
It is not nearby. It's actually on the other side of the building. And I'm so sorry, but our process is proprietary. I wish I could take you in there and give you a full tour because it's kind of incredible. A lot of the equipment that we use, we actually had to, my dad designed on his own because there's just not the kind of equipment that can handle the viscosity of the honey. So it's actually pretty neat. You know, hopefully someday we can open that up to everybody and share all of it. We try to show pieces of it when we can.
Nobody's watching.
Oh, yeah, right.
So it's really, really awesome, but you can't see it.
That's right.
Which is fair. I mean, that's fair.
How would a honey bunchies taste warmed up? I mean, I've left one in my pocket all day long, but that's not heating it up.
Oh, so good. If you heat it up, well, first of all, if you just leave it in your pocket or on a hot sunny day on a hike, it's not going to melt so much that it liquefies, which is great. It'll get nice and soft, like a soft caramel. But if you want to put it in a pot and heat it till the point that it melts or nuke it in a microwave, then it's like a melted caramel texture. And we actually suggest, if you're going to do that, to cut up some green apple slices and roll it into the melted texture.
Oh, what is wrong with you? That sounds delicious.
It's so good.
It's basically like one of those dipped apples, right?
Oh yeah, but you're not eating any garbage. It's all clean ingredients. It's just honey and nuts.
Talk about your ingredients. What do you have in there? Anybody we know that you work with? Who do you get your honey from, or is that proprietary too?
No, that's okay. We get it from Smitty Bees in Iowa, and we specifically chose them because of how careful they are with their honey. They test it regularly. They track where all of their honey comes from, and they have a really good reputation in the industry. So, has
anybody ever asked you to do a CBD version of it?
Oh yeah, definitely. We've been asked to do that. And CBD deal. That right now we just have our hands so full with what we're doing with our current bar. That would be a whole nother product line to do CBD. There's a lot of benefit though. CBD is amazing, and maybe down the road. But right now, actually in the near future, we're hoping to roll out a couple new varieties of honey bunchies. One or both of them will hopefully be dairy free. So for all of our friends out there that have been wanting to eat honey bunchies but can't have dairy because we have milk and butter in our ingredients, that is coming soon. And we've already done some R&D. It is so good. So good.
Oh, we're looking forward to that. Are your hands constantly sticky?
No, they're not. We actually, we run things very, very tight, very clean. We don't have big messes, thankfully. Otherwise, that could be a total mess.
How many honey bunchies do you think I could eat in one sitting? It's Jay here. Because I think I can get 20.
Yeah.
I bet you I could eat 20.
No way.
You don't think so?
No, you'd have to drink a gallon of water too.
No. Well, I mean, I'd probably sip on some water. I want to do it. Well, let's do a thing. Would you donate 20 for a contest to see if I could eat them?
Well, I mean, honey bunchies are meant to enjoy.
I want to enjoy 20.
Okay.
Enjoy 20.
I think it depends on the day. If you haven't eaten anything yet and you're famished and you have some water nearby,
stay hydrated.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a lot of goodness. You can have too much of a good thing, I think. But there are 12 bars in one box. So if you wanted to do 2 boxes, you'd have to do 24. But
I can eat a box, no problem. I mean, I know that for a fact.
What are those retail for?
Well, it depends where you're buying it. So in most grocery settings, we're between $2.29 to $2.49 per bar. If you're going somewhere that's more of a specialty shop, a coffee shop, that's going to be $2.79 to $2.99. And when you start getting into hotels and resorts, the sky is the limit. But yeah, what shoppers should be looking for is probably in the low to mid twos for a bar.
Yeah, and now remember, it takes 3 days to make it.
3 days. 3 days. That bar, it's really high quality. We use really clean, really good ingredients, and we are extremely strict on how we make it. And
okay, I'm gonna put you on the spot now because you read the label to me. Tell me the ingredients. What does it say?
Oh, that's easy. It'll take 2 seconds.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to read the actual label. Oh, hi.
That's Jeff Rourke. That's our next guest, Jeff Rourke.
Okay, so honey, which is 42% by weight, sunflower kernels, which it also includes sunflower oil and salt, milk, butter, tapioca syrup, peanuts, pecans, and vanilla. That's it.
That's the type of ingredients I want to hear right there. Simple ingredients that you can pronounce.
Exactly.
I love that. It's honeybunchies.com.
Honeybunchies.com. That's right.
I love it. Thank you for joining us. And that's Kendra Bennett, Honey Bunchies and honeybunchies.com. Go get your fill. Why not? It's perfect food and it tastes delicious. We attest to it. Thank you, Kendra. You're great.
Bye.
That's Kendra Bennett, Honey Bunchies. Joining us now, and cue up my screen here, Jay, because I have some B-roll that will play in the background. I'll turn it off, the volume. But check this out. So playing in the background is some B-roll of an install that Jeff Rourke did at Tap 14 in Uptown. And there it is, the tap system behind us. Joining us now, my friend and yours, he not probably the longest running sponsor on the Modern Eater Show. He supports local and this business probably since the get-go. We got to welcome him back to the show. Jeff Rourke, A+Beverage Solutions. What's happening, sir?
What's going on, Greg? How you doing?
Good to see you. Turn your phone sideways. See if we can get the full camera there.
Let's see here.
Is it an iPhone?
It is an iPhone.
Let's see here.
I wonder if that's a setting in there.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
No, doesn't work. Okay, that's cool. You're working. Oh, no.
With things here.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, yeah. Jeff, just show us around first, and then we'll talk business.
Yeah. So right now we're down at Fossil Craft. We just took them from I think 6 or 8 lines to 24. So this is what we did down here.
6 to 8 lines. Took them to 24. You added more faucets. Where were the 6 lines? Where were the existing lines?
The existing lines. Here, I'll show you.
None better. He does custom installs, does maintenance as well. Jeff Rourke and A+Beverage Solutions.
They're maintaining social distancing, but that's the old lines right there.
Yeah.
So
okay.
So what is it? 8 lines. So yeah, the 8 to 24, and then we ran the coolers behind, and we ran the lines up and over, and then down into the new bar. This is all new addition. They're increasing the size of their brewery down here at Fossil Craft down in the Springs, which you know them. You know Josh and Megan.
Yes, absolutely. Say hello for us. And I don't mean to diminish this job, Jeff, but I've seen some jobs. You've ran lines, football fields long.
Yeah. I mean, like we just did the Monarch Casino with that new tower addition, and we have close to a mile of trunk line in there. So, and we still got 2 more bars to go in there. So,
do you really?
Yeah.
What's just as an aside, what's going on? Obviously, it's shut down up there right now, right?
The brewery is still open. They're just maintaining social distancing, and there are people coming in and doing crowlers or growlers and getting beer to go. So,
I was talking about Monarch.
Oh, Monarch's closed. Yeah, the system shut down. They're still doing some construction up there right now, but as for the hotel and the casino, everything's closed. So
Yeah, you're meeting right now Jeff Rourke and A+Beverage Solutions, the most trusted man in the business. And again, beer, wine, water, coffee, nitro. He'll add a line, does maintenance. I've been talking about a promotion that you're running, and I wanted to hear it from you. But $10 a line for maintenance right now, it's important. Talk about the importance of when your lines are down for an extended period of time.
It's at first, when they first put it out, I wasn't too concerned about anybody shutting down their systems. But, when you're shutting down for long term, you definitely want to get all that beer out of there so you don't get beer stone build up or anything built up in it. So we'll go in and we'll put water into your lines, and then we can either shut the system down 100%. Brewers Association does not recommend that. They recommend that you leave the glycol chiller on. And just turn the temperature up so you don't freeze the lines, which is another option. So, but seeing that we are in refrigeration as well, we know these units pretty well, and whether they're going to fire off again or not. So, we're also paying attention to our customers' needs and wants. But a lot of people are shutting these things down, so we're going to blow them out, and then we'll come back in and fire it off when you guys are ready to fire them off. So, but it's just weird times right now. So
it really is. 720-272-3809, 720-272-3809. 720-272-3809. Get a hold of Jeff Rourke. What we say is all the time, if you're pouring inefficient beer, what are you doing, Jay?
You're pouring your money down the drain.
Don't pour your money down the drain. Here's the man right there. We talk about him every single day, every single weekend as well. He's a fixture of the show, and he's a family man. 2 beautiful daughters, 3 beautiful daughters.
Yes.
And a beautiful wife. I can't forget about Morgan, right? I mean, the oldest daughter. Yeah. She's the babysitter, right?
Yeah, no, not really. Not sometimes. Sometimes she is, But so she's helping out as much as she can. She's doing school at home now. So
yes, Kristen as well. She's maintaining the business and the family business.
Yes. Yeah.
She's the hardest.
She's maintaining the castle. So
yeah, that's right. What else should people know about their draft systems right now? And what was that offer that you were telling people about?
Yeah, like I said, we'll come in, we'll shut all your lines down, and just make sure that everything's shut down, so you don't have to worry about leaking CO2 or gas into your system. Make sure your lines are taken care of. If you want, we'll give you the option of that. We'll shut down the glycol chillers. Not, like I said, some people don't recommend you do that because they're the older the units, there's a possibility they might not restart. Just like a starter in your car, as those things cycle, the compressor cycle, you get flat spots in the rotor, and it can hang if you're at that point anyways. Next time the thing cycles, it's going to be in the same situation. So. But yeah, we'll come in. We can shut them all down for you and make sure you guys are ready and have fresh product and ready to rock and roll when we pass this difficult time. So,
yeah, $10 a line.
Mm-hmm.
That's a killer deal, unless you're something like Beast and Brews, 100 lines.
Yeah. Some of those bigger ones, but they can add up pretty quick. So. But
it was funny. We were talking to Noah the other day down there. We had him on the stream, and he said it had something to do with the pouring the beer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And is it tweaked correctly or what? He was like, I thought Jeff was going to throat punch me, man. You got to figure out this system. Is it a complicated system, or is it? It's an interesting thing, the self pour system.
It is. It's completely different than what we'd install in a bar or restaurant that's going to be used by somebody that's trained as a bar staff that knows how to pour beer. A lot of people think they know how to pour beer, and they actually don't. And then they go into these places and they realize that they're getting charged per ounce, and it can be a frustrating experience for the customers. And there's a lot of technology in it. So we build the systems to slow the beer down more so than what we would with a commercial, a bar, restaurant, or brewery. Just because there is that learning curve of people that don't really know how to pour beer. They put the glass down on a dirt tray and just open the faucet and pour a bunch of foam and then get frustrated. So it can be frustrating, but they've done a pretty good job and putting some training videos together and having the staff help them out, to just kind of talk through on educating them what it takes to get a quality draft. So, yeah, when we were down there last, everything was in pretty good shape. So,
it's funny because every time I go down, you know how they give you a card, they register a card, give you a card.
Yeah.
I get cut off every time. Why do they cut you off so soon with that?
That has to do with the liquor laws. So you don't overserve. So I think they have their cards set up to 24 ounces or something like that. So a couple beers, you can get a couple beers or maybe 36 ounces. But after you hit that, you have to go and ask to reactivate your card. But that has to do with concerns about over-serving customers. So,
I apparently was over-serving myself.
Maybe. But, you got Jay, your personal chauffeur, driving you around. So you're all right, right?
No, man, I got a car.
Oh, you got a car.
It's a cool one, man. 2001 Honda Civic.
Sweet.
Go get that.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful champagne, man. It's champagne colored.
Hey, it's got 4 wheels and steering wheel. Get you where you're going, right?
Well, I mean, the bottom line with that was Jay said no more. That was it. Well, what were talk about some of the installs that you've done? I mean, I say you've been everywhere, and you truly have. But family business, 20 years, specialty tap installations. There, and I also say this, that the brewers want the beer to taste like they intended it to taste through a line. Talk about like some of the worst places that you've seen, not by name, but like what's a bad situation that you've seen? I've seen people pour foam.
We just did one. We got a call on a Saturday evening begging for us to come down and fix the system. Because somebody went in and did an install or tried to do an install, and they told the ownership that they ran out of a part, that they had to get more parts on Monday, but they needed me to get down there because they had an event, and I got down there on Sunday, and it was just pitiful. So I mean, I don't like building my business off slander, but we do that. We go through and fix other issues.
Clean up the mess.
Yeah, clean up the mess. But that's not all our business. But there's a lot of quality guys out there that know what they're doing, and there's some guys that have no idea what they're doing. So, and this just had to fall into the no idea category. But we went in and pretty much tore the system back out and reinstalled it But from the time we received a phone call to the time we got it finished was a 24-hour time frame. So that was a pretty fun one. So
unbelievable. Some of the places that you've installed. Wait till you hear Jeff go down the line here, because I'm sure you've had beers at plenty of these bars and breweries. We started off with showing video from Tap 14 and that job there. Go ahead and just riff on some of these places.
Tap 14, that was a fun one, 70 faucets, direct to the wall. That was a good one. Beast and Brew, that was a great one. That wasn't really neat because it was for my own system, 100 beers. We just redid the pint room over in Littleton. That was 170 lines. Monarch, like I said, we had a mile of trunk line there.
Brews Resolute.
We're at Fossil Craft right now. We did
Old Chicago.
Yeah, I can't even remember them all. The list goes on and on. Brass Tap. We did. Oh God, I can't even. My mind just went blank.
Punch Bowl Socials.
Yeah, Punch Bowl Social. We did a lot of Punch Bowl Socials, and then I Pick Theater Group. We do Alamo Draft House. We've done some AMCs. You name it, man. We're there. So we also did the ice machines, walking coolers for all the Alamo Draft House. Smoking Dave's Barbecue. We do his stuff.
It's all coming back to you now.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of them all. We're doing the new Slater's downtown, Slater's 50/50. We're doing the Yeti retail store in Cherry Creek. We'll be finishing that here shortly.
Garden Grace.
Garden Grace. We did Garden Grace. We did Los Chingones. We've done hashtag. All of Tony and Nikki. Troy and Nikki Guard's restaurants. We've done. Oh man, wearing me out.
It's endless.
Yeah. So I mean, we're doing the new Cherry Creek Inn down at Cherry Creek. The new hotel they're building down there, so it's got a couple bars are doing it. Like I said, we're doing more work at Mardi Gras. I mean, not Mardi Gras, but Monarch. We should be starting some work at Mardi Gras hopefully in another month of the mountains.
What's hot right now in installations? Is it front pouring towards the customer or against the wall, or does it just have to do with your layout? What's hot right now?
It has to do with the layout. Really, like I said, we like to talk to the ownership or the architect and execute their vision. Sometimes the plans are very set in stone. Everything wants to be a particular way. So again, we're doing Kuma's Corner, which is going to be a very interesting one. We had to execute their vision, so we had a custom tower made for two 16-prong towers, powder coat matte black, and it's kind of like I was described the motif was going to be a biker hamburger joint. So it's going to have spikes for bolts, and
cool
overhead chases that match the pipe, all that. So it's going to be a pretty fun, unique system. As for tower placement, I'm a big fan of putting on the back bar because when you put a tower on the front bar where you're serving your customers, you're taking up that real estate. People don't really like to sit in front of a beer tower, have their vision blocked by it. That's my own personal preference, but like I said, everybody has their own dream and vision of what they want, and that's truly what our job is to execute your dreams and your goals to make sure that that you're happy at the end of what we do. So,
all right, tell me the truth, Jeff. Do you go into a restaurant or a bar, get a beer poured, and you're just Mr. Judgy man right there?
Judgy McJudgerson?
Well, being in the business so long, the first thing I look at is the beer system, and then I watch how it pours. But other than that, I don't say anything to anybody.
You don't say, "Hey, man, I can help you. I can make your dreams come true."
I don't solicit that way. Like I said, I don't like slandering somebody. If you went out, if you bought, your car. It's a great example. You bought a 2001 Honda Civic, and it's a car. But somebody might say, "Hey, that car's a pile of garbage," but it can be insulting. So I don't like telling people that what they have could have been better or whatever the case, and they'll figure it out in their own time.
Hey, they'll figure it out.
Hey, Jeff, it's Jay here. So when Greg told me he came in and he's like, I got a car. I said, if you're joking with me, I'll kill you where you stand. And he says, come out and look at it. So we go out in the parking lot here in front of Studio Kitchen, Colorado, and he's got it front and center. He says, what do you think? And I got a little teary-eyed, and I said, that's the best-looking car I've ever seen in my entire life. And here's the thing, and you and I both know, Jeff, I meant every word of that. That was the best-looking car I'd ever seen,
You're saving a lot of time and gas money.
Someone just asked, I don't think you do this. Someone asked, does he service kegerators? That's a little low.
We do. Yeah, we service
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
If it's beverage, we do it, man. We'll go anywhere. Like I said, we have tools. We'll travel, we're working on another, like I said, 96% of our business is in state, but we're working on a job out in Georgia coming up in a couple months. So, we take care of those who have beverage systems that utilize these beverage systems, whether it's for profit or fun. So,
amen. I've shared a few beers with you.
Yeah. So,
and we'll get back to sharing some more beers together. Exactly. Your lovely wife Kristen is watching the stream right now. Yeah, would you like to say anything? Look, Kristen, he is working right now.
See, I'm not lying. I'm actually working.
Yeah, that's right.
Say hi to your family.
Hey, honey, how you doing? Hi, baby girls.
What y'all having for dinner tonight?
We're gonna do pot roast tonight. So, yeah, it should be in the oven already. So,
what time should we be there?
I don't think we're invited, Jay.
I think that might violate some social distancing. Too many people in our house, We live in
God,
house,
I'm hearing that. I'm hearing that everywhere.
I know, Jay. You get turned down at every corner. He's the guy. 720-272-3809. You know it. If you're pouring inefficient beer, what are you doing, Jeff?
pouring your money down the
You're
drain.
pouring you down the drain.
Don't pour your money down the drain.
Yeah.
Get a hold of this, John. Hey, man, longest running sponsor of the Modern Eater Show. You're a stand-up guy. You're a family man. We love everybody there. I can't wait to have another beer with you. Maybe another wild night down at Grind Kitchen and Watering Hole. You got one of those in you?
I don't know if I can handle one of those. So maybe I can slow down a little bit.
All right, Jeff. We'll see you soon, man.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
Bye, buddy. See you, man.
Later,
Jeff
buddy.
Rourke, A+Beverage Solutions. That's the guy. Larry Herz joins us.
I decided to go outside today.
Awesome, nice
I love it.
backdrop there. You can tell that it's moving in right now, huh? Got some weather coming.
Yeah, it's a little chilly, but nice this morning for some golf.
Hey, you did play golf, huh?
Sorry.
Such a tease. Jeff said he can service your kegerator, no problem.
That'd be great.
You need that done?
It's a little nasty.
We also know a few breweries that would love to put a pencil keg in there for you.
I don't even know a pencil keg. I haven't heard that one.
Oh, you haven't? Just a small keg right there.
Oh, yeah. We have
a sixtel.
We do, sixtel. We do trade. We do a lot of trade with Woods Boss, marketing for kegs.
Yeah.
Dry Dock, Lone Tree. We love beer and we drink lots of it.
Well, we do too. Okay, before we start, I thought it was important. I wanted to show another clip of the fine work that you do, but I don't want to step all over it. Could you please do the setup on this, and then I'll play it?
So my first show that I did was restaurants near me. I'm sorry, it was restaurant tours. It was just specific for one restaurant, and if you weren't interested in that restaurant, you wouldn't watch that episode. So that's why I decided to make Restaurants Near Me, which is the #1 Google search term for restaurants. So I thought that would help me on an SEO basis with YouTube. And so we've done 6 episodes. This is one of my favorite ones in Arvada. I go to 5 restaurants in 4 hours and eat. So
I'm so mad. It's just great. All right, here it goes. Make sure that we have the audio on here. All right, let me get this audio going here. I promise it'll work. Here we go. We'll just refresh this. See if we got the audio. Here we go. Perfect.
On this week's episode of Restaurants Near Me, we're in Old Town Arvada. This place has been here a long time. It's got character, charm, little nooks, crannies, old places, new places, but even the new places feel like old places. I'm going to take you to all of them. Let's eat. Here we are, Old Town Arvada, Flying Pig. Obviously known for a lot of pig products, pork. Today they brought us fried green tomatoes, which I haven't had in years. I'm really excited for that. Some roasted poblanos on it, goat cheese. Fried green tomatoes, a southern dish. And then to put this kind of combinations on it is really intriguing. Let's see if it works.
Oh. It works.
Strangely, it does. And then look at this burger. Look how cute. They got this little Flying Pig logo on here. They brought me, Mary had a spicy lamb burger. So, lamb burger, you don't see that every day. Using some Colorado lamb, apricot chutney. Got some chipotle brushed onto this toasted bun. Some goat cheese on top. Pretty optimistic.
Pretty optimistic.
Oh,
you better
yeah,
have eaten that whole thing, man.
Never. Oh my God. Yeah, I would eat the hell out of that.
I'd eat that and did. That's kind of a taste. So I found that on YouTube, Larry. Where's the best way to find those types of videos for you?
Yeah, so go to YouTube and type in Restaurants Near Me, or go to our YouTube channel at OCN, stands for Our Community Now, OCN Videos, and you can find them all. We've done DTC, Aurora, Arvada, Low-High, and it's a blast for me. Better for my cameramen who eat all the food that I don't eat because, I'm just having a bite. You can't
eat it all. Bring Larry down just a little out there, Jay. Perfect.
That's what my wife always says. She always wants me to be brought down a little.
You're pretty clean cut there, my man. You didn't have the beard going. So that was the first time I've seen.
Oh, and that, yeah. Oh, yeah, this is getting out of control.
But I thought you said that your wife and your daughter were going to dye that thing.
Yeah, we're it's a weekend project, so we're going to do it tomorrow.
Monday we're going to see a different Larry, huh?
I think so.
All right, Larry.
I mean, they bought it. I've seen it. They bought the kit. I had
Just
some
for
things.
men's kit?
Yeah. And they bought brown, but my hair was never brown, so I don't know.
It'll be interesting. We'll
I
see
will
that
say
on Monday.
I am not optimistic about that.
If there's a reason to tune in on Monday, it's that right there. Larry, okay, what are we going to cover today?
Okay, so today I had a couple of things I jotted down I wanted to talk about. And
we actually have a good amount of time. We can go until 4:30.
All right, I could probably make that happen. So the big thing I'm always talking about, of course, is social media and Instagram and discipline and having the discipline to do it every day and finding the time. And one of the biggest reasons is it's free and it's your target audience. So there's no better people to talk to. And if you just make 10 minutes a day to work on it, and like I said before, like have your servers do it, have your daughter do it. It's not rocket science, but it takes time, it takes effort. And now's the time to be doing it. Restaurants definitely have downtime now.
Mm-hmm.
This is the time to be working because now you have to be preparing for the next phase of our lives. And that's one of the things I want to bring up. Like people are, of course, just trying to get by through today. But the people that are doing really well today were the people that were better prepared for this situation. The people who waited a week to add delivery and takeout, they were behind the 8 ball and they're still struggling. So you have to make some projections. What does the next phase of restaurant business look like? And nobody's really talking about that. And so it's not going to be like all of a sudden they're going to be like, all right, everybody back to eat and restaurants will be packed again. That's not going to happen. What's going to happen is it's going to be partial, right? Your waiters might be wearing masks. You might be wearing masks even eating there. The tables will definitely be 6 feet apart. So how are you going to make it, even when they let you back in as a restaurant, when you're only going to be able to use 50% of your seats?
I got an idea.
Okay.
All right. Putting my hand up first. The idea is to show people in your social media, your fan base or your customers, that you're doing everything that you can possibly do to be safe in their restaurants. So what are the things that you're doing to be safe? Capture those things. Is it moving the tables? Is that a good idea to make people comfortable to come back into your restaurant again?
I don't think it's going to be up to the individual restaurant. It's going to be the mandate probably by Polis, if not Hancock or both, when they start letting restaurants back in. So how do you make it on 50% seating? So that's what I'm thinking, like just proactive instead of reactive. Start planning for the next phase of your restaurant's life. And that means smaller menus for sure, because you're going to have, again, even just like now, you're serving less people. So everybody's gone to smaller menus, I think, almost every restaurant.
Who can we use as an example that they wouldn't mind? I don't think Jason McGovern would mind, but I don't know if he's a great example because he does pizza, and pizza's renownedly great for delivery and that type of thing. But who would be a good example that we could use on?
You take any of Troy's or Frank's restaurants.
Yeah, do that.
And any of their restaurants. So now how are you going to make it with 50% less seating? So yes, you'll have a smaller menu, but you also are going to need to turn tables faster, right? Because you have less volume.
And that's going to fall on the kitchen, don't you think?
It falls on the kitchen, but it also falls on management to put together a situation and plan how you're going to survive economically and how the kitchen can get the food out faster and the waiters can get the tables turned. Because in Denver in general, we're not a late night town, and we never will be. This is not New York where people are eating at 9 o'clock at night. It's not. So you've got to be able to do, instead of 2-hour turns, you got to be able to figure out how can I do an 1.5-hour turn. And yes, smaller menu. The kitchen's got to obviously execute faster. And it's just a question of also then how do you get the word out? And it's every day that a restaurant is not on their social media is another day they are wasting and behind. email, text, Facebook, Instagram are all basically free. And these are ways that you can get your message through to your fans. But if they're not on there, you're not getting it to them. So you have to work at it every day, put in the time. And, there's the tricks that I've told you about, following other restaurants, followers. Start doing it. Engage with your followers now. You can't just all of a sudden do it a month from now. You have to. I know you're like dying. Every restaurant's dying. Like you're freaking out. But you have to be still working on your business. And then that's one of the things I wanted to talk about today. And so, okay, you're like, well, I don't have the followers. How am I going to get them? Well, there are other ways. You can use my followers. I have a group that I might have told you about. It's called the Dine Influencers Group, DINE, Denver Influencers Network Experiences. I made it up a year ago or 14 months ago. The idea being, influencers. Yeah. Who's an influencer, right? Is 1,000 people, are you an influencer? Sure, why not? Is it 10,000? Of course. So as a restaurant owner, if you don't have the following, well, these people have the following. So DM them, or easier, DM me, because I've got 30 of them in my group, and say, we'd like to feed your group. And at this point in time, of course, that means takeout, and in exchange, posting for a meal. And the standard in my group is we post 3 times on our story. The story is for those who don't know, I'm sure you know, is the circle at the top. And then we post once in our feed, and then we tip really well. And then we don't pay for our food, and that's a fair trade. Mm-hmm. So as a restaurant owner, DM these people, direct message them through Instagram, and ask them to do that. And then you get access to their following. And the thing that so many restaurant owners they're against influencers. They think of them as like Yelpers, and they're not Yelpers.
Or folks that are just looking for a handout or a meal or something like that. Did you see that one post of where an influencer or a blogger went into a restaurant and basically wanted to exchange a photo for the meat? I mean, you see a little bit of that, and so how do you talk about that?
So, there's no rules, there's no laws for how this is done.
Yeah.
The standard, is for me, what I'm comfortable with is restaurants ask me, and they do not so much in this time, but before this, at least once a week, they say, will you please come eat my food in exchange for posting on your feed? Of course I will. It's a fair trade in my mind. I would never take money for it, but I shouldn't pay for food in your restaurant to then put it on my page in front of my almost 12,000 followers.
That's interesting. I'd like to get feedback from folks on their opinion of that. And again, you're a big baller, man. People know you, and you're somebody who you want that you would trust, I guess, as an influencer.
Okay. So
and 1 second. Think of what you're talking about as piggyback marketing, using somebody else's channels of dissemination for your own benefits and purposes. So I guess at that point in time, what's the exchange? And that's usually it's a meal for a photo.
Let's say you even gave him $100 budget. Like, Troy said, come eat a tag. I'll give you $100 to do what I just talked about, posting. Like, sure. And of course, my meal is more than 100 because, I'm going to have a couple of drinks and a couple of, but for him, let's say that $100 costs him $30. So for $30 at his cost, he's getting in front of my average post reaches 2,500 people, but 2,500 Denver diners. Would you spend $30 to 100% know you reached 2,500 Denver diners? That's a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
I would do that every day of the week as a restaurant owner. And so what I'm hoping is that some will hear this, because I know I've turned a lot of them. Alex, for sure, he had never done it in his life, and he had my group down at Mercantile for the first influencer event he ever had.
What if somebody feels like they're an influencer and wants to link up with you in that sense?
Everybody's an influencer. Who isn't?
I know, but would you let anybody go dine with you in a group? I mean, no, right?
No. So I vet the people in my group.
Yeah, what's that look like?
Well, they have to take fantastic images, as I mentioned over and over. There are some people that are so talented, such great photographers. I'm a mediocre photographer. I just take a lot of pictures, and then eventually I get a good enough one to post. And then,
where's a good example of where I can find one of your photos so we can put it side by side? What's a good example? Where can I find one?
On my feed?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be on there right now, but at the beginning I was terrible.
Which feed? Is it just your Larry feed?
OCN Eats. Eats.
On Instagram.
Yeah, on Instagram. I mean, if you look, are you on there at all?
I'm doing it right now.
I mean, they're all great. I mean, they're really great.
And you're taking these photos?
90% are mine. Lately, obviously, I don't get out, so I'm reposting for restaurants a lot. But I don't know what you see in there.
Now, they're mostly just food. So can you grab my laptop here, Jay?
Yeah, pick one for me.
Yeah, so we're just looking through. We're going to just sort through your photos here. And, they're pretty good. You're using that vibrant filter on.
I don't use any filter.
No filter.
No, I edit every picture before I post it, which amazes me that people don't edit them before. I brighten them up. I push everything up, the saturation, everything, the contrast, everything I push up a bit. And I put my food on the floor a lot. Have I told you that one?
No, this one's on a rug. No, or that's a blanket. Isn't that a blanket? I mean, I think have 14 of those blankets.
I think that looks like it's on the ground.
That looks like it's outside. Lighting.
Yeah, sidewalks are great. Parking lots. Outside.
That's a good.
So you like food just itself in a photo. You're not really looking for people and food.
So before this happened, 1 out of every 9 in my feed was me. But now I just feel like it's kind of not right to put my face in there. So I put very little of me. But if you look further back, you could see me at Main Shack with my bib on.
Let's go to our Instagram, Jay.
And it's important, just like I say for restaurants, to mix it up. It can't just be food. So, I put my face in it. So people want to identify with me. And when I talk about me and my family and my personal life, people love that, so that I'm sharing with them. And that's what Alex should be doing. Troy should be doing. Frank should be doing. They should all be sharing about their families and their restaurants and the struggles they're going through. People will, is it pity? A little bit. They feel bad for them, and they want to support them. They want to support human beings. They don't want to support food and dishes. So that's why I think they should all be on their social media every day right now, even if it's 5 minutes, a minute video, post it. Here we are, we're Mercantile. This is what we're doing we're cooking all these meals for people. Appreciate your support. We'll be back strong. We'll be having a party, those type of things. Then people will be like, oh, that Alex dude, because he is phenomenal. People don't know he's phenomenal. They don't know what a great human being he is. So why not support? Why not use the great attribute of yourself being a charming, great person? Then people want to go eat at your place.
Go ahead, Larry.
And then one other thing, I don't know how much more time, but one thing I wanted to talk about also was for every person who's out there, you could be an influencer with 20 followers, and all you have to do, take a picture of the food that you got for takeout and post it and tell people that you love that meal and to go support this restaurant. And if you don't if you don't want to do that, there's another way to do it. And there's free apps. One's called Regran, Regran, that I use all the time. And it basically allows you to copy the image from whatever feed you're on. So you can copy the restaurant's image that you like, whether you've eaten it or not. And then you could share it on your page. the ethical thing is to credit them that you took their photograph, but it isn't even. They won't be mad because you're promoting them. So if you have a neighborhood restaurant that you love and you're like, God, what can I do to help? I don't have any money. All you do is push a couple of buttons, capture their image from Regrand, share it to yours, do some hashtags, say this is my favorite restaurant. I love this dish. You should go support this restaurant. That's something I really want to talk about today. Like you can do your part even if you have no money.
Yeah, get out there and take photos. And what about video on Instagram and Facebook? Video seems to be the most consumed things. Is that something that you recommend on Instagram or just for Facebook or vice versa? What are your thoughts on that?
I think every feed is different. I think if your fans are used to video, you can do well with video. When I do video, it doesn't do nearly as well. I talked to a guy who's one of the best influencers in the country, Las Vegas Phil. If you ever go to Vegas, he does video almost every post, and he does a video and a static image in every post. And I don't know, he probably runs 10 Instagrams, and I bet he has 100,000 followers himself. But it takes time to do video, and I don't have time, so that's why I don't do it. A static image is so much easier, and what I do every single meal I eat out, I take all the images of my food, whoever's with me's food. Everybody knows when they're with me. They can't eat till I take a picture of their food. And yes, I'm going to put your food on the floor. I'm sorry. And then I have a database. I have all these Google Drive folders, hundreds of them with all these restaurants, so that when I'm not eating out, I still have all this.
That's what I was going to ask you about. Is the boneyard or the graveyard of photos in your phone? You should be scrolling through the archives constantly, right? Or no? Should you feel a little guilty, like that picture was taken 6 months ago?
No, doesn't matter. Now you should check to make sure the food's still on the menu at the restaurant, which I absolutely do. Like, here's a little confession time. I eat out a lot, right? And you see the food that I'm eating, and I gain a little weight during the year.
You and me both, brother. Me and you both.
Every January, I do a weight loss contest, and I don't eat out really in January. So pretty much everything you see in January is a repost from a restaurant, or I go back to last year's post, January, February, or I go to my drive folders and I'm posting old stuff. And I lose 20 pounds, by the way, every January.
You do not. 20 pounds? What are you eating? Nothing?
I eat 5 times a day every January.
What are you eating?
A meal, a Greek yogurt is a meal. It's just, you want to hear the system? I'll tell you the system.
I'm actually interested in this. Sorry about that.
So I've been in a weight loss contest for 14 years. Every January, it's a percentage of your weight loss.
Who's in it?
So this started in my restaurant. So it was my customers, my staff. And at the time when I started, I didn't realize how competitive I was. But apparently I am, because in 14 years, I've won 12 times. I lost once and I tied once. And we each put in $50 and winner takes all.
What kind of pot was that?
And what's that?
What kind of pot did that add up to be?
It's usually about $400 a year. I've bought golf clubs. I've bought a lot of nice things with it.
Well, just count me in next year, man.
Of course, people are like,
I know how you cheat, though, Larry.
There's no cheating.
I know. But this December 31st, you're eating every carb and fat that you possibly can to gain 5 pounds.
It's not December 31st. It's basically 11 months of eating terribly. And then the last week of December, I'm always in Scottsdale. And then I really go crazy. I had White Castle. I had In-N-Out. Let's see. I had Portillo's. But there are no rules, Yeah, so I pack it on. And then, yes, I'm in the gym every single day. And my 5 meals a day are like this. I eat every 3 hours. It's lean protein. So, you can eat steak, you can eat filet, but 6 ounces of filet. I eat chicken, I eat salmon, I eat shrimp. You could have flank steak. And then the first 2 meals will have carbs in them. Not a lot, but some complex carbs. You can't live without carbs. It's just silly. And then the next 3 meals don't have any carbs. And, it takes prep. It takes, you have to plan ahead. You can't be like winging it. And you just eat 5 times a day and exercise every single day.
What do you weigh? What do you weigh right now?
I don't weigh myself the rest of the year.
Is that true? Well, you're looking good, man. You're looking lean.
I weigh myself 2 days a year. I would never lie to you. And everybody who knows me knows this. January 1st to January 31st. Now I still exercise. Like I'm all right. Here's another confession time.
Get to know Larry time.
Gym that's open. There's a gym that nobody knows about. It's like in an abandoned building, and I still work out every night. And nobody's ever there, so I'm not worried about anything. And because the way I eat, I'd be screwed. I have to.
A gym in an abandoned building, Jade. Where does that take your mind, man? That's like a Rocky thing going on. Are you punching inside the meat and things?
It's an office building, but there's nobody in offices right now, right?
Yeah, that's right. Okay, next week we've got a promise because we built it up yesterday. Yeah. We're going to run a campaign. We're going to run a marketing campaign to see if and that's what we have to figure out. I guess right now we should figure out is it. Let's do this. Let's run a marketing campaign for the Modern Eater on Facebook to gain more likes. No? What you got a better idea? Look at you. God, don't give me that face.
I don't like buying likes. That's basically what you're doing. You're buying.
I've never done that before. What do you think's a good campaign? Should we sell a T-shirt?
I mean, Only
time I do campaigns is usually with events.
But you want more people to tune in, right?
Okay.
So let's make that the goal.
All right, and we'll be able to get metrics on that.
You won't know whether they converted. Well, yeah, we could set it up so that we know they convert. The biggest thing is you'll know if you just have more viewers. You just want more viewers, and there is a way we could put it in so that if they click from the ad to your show. Certainly, of course, that's measurable. I'll have to put a moment's thought into how to build it.
Would you do that over the weekend? Put a little thought into that? Or a campaign that you think would be effective? Let's do this. Forget the Modern Eater. Let's figure out, and maybe we should use a test restaurant. Can we let's use a test restaurant to be able to drive more traffic to? No?
I got another idea.
Okay.
Let's do it for a charity.
That's an interesting thing. To raise money?
Heroes, or there's that. Have you heard of the one lunches for clinicians?
No.
They've raised $100,000.
Wow.
Feeding Colorado Heroes, by the way, has raised $40,000.
All right. Let's think over the weekend. Let's get that.
I like that idea of you putting in your money, and by maybe I can put in some of mine and buy an ad and help one of these charities.
I think that's a great idea. Let's brainstorm over the weekend on what that charity is, because I think we all probably have one in mind. We'll probably have to draw straws on that one.
Yeah, it's your show. Whatever you want.
Well, it's the first time I've ever heard that, man. Jay doesn't give me that liberty. Larry Herz, he joins us every day at 4 p.m. I want to start doing this too. If you have questions for Larry, that's a good segment. Questions for Larry. We're going to open it up next time, and we're going to put out the text line number so you can interact with Larry for questions too. But he'll tell you. I mean, marketing wizard extraordinaire, and it's an interesting thing because you don't like social media at all.
Oh God, it's the worst.
It's the worst, but it's a job, and he does his job well. All right, Monday, you're going to look like a whole different Larry.
That's the plan. Follow me on Ocean Eats on Instagram. Check out my dining guide at local.oceaneats.com.
Perfect. See you Monday.
See you, buddy.
There he is, Larry Herz. Oh, man, that's a good one. I know this gentleman right here. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing, Greg?
Oh, I was just hoping that we could hear your audio. It's like always we're like, oh, my goodness, we hope the audio works there. Joining us right now, Rich O'Brien. And Rich, we have to welcome you to the show because what is this, day 26 out of 57, 33 days to go for till our favorite restaurants open back up. So what do you do now? You get ready, and Rich O'Brien, Elevation Food Services reps. First of all, talk about the company.
Well, we sell food service equipment and supplies. Really, that's the gist of it. So we are manufacturers reps. We represent, we always say they're best in class brands. Our competitors would like to say differently, but yeah, we sell a variety of equipment and supplies, from Cambro pans and food delivery bags and holding cabinets to heavy equipment with the Middleby brands, whether it's Pitco or South Bend, Blodgett. We also sell Halt hoods and glass tender bar equipment. So yeah, we've got a nice variety of products. Steel light tabletop. So yeah, really have a lot of fun in the industry.
What got you into the business?
My dad.
Your old man?
Yep.
What did he do?
He was a rep in Kansas City. And it was one of those deals, actually. It's kind of it's a little bit of a sad story, but it's not. So I graduated from college in December, a little bit early, which was kind of a surprise, and wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with my life. And he told me, he said, well, why don't you just come work for me for a while? You know, all my friends in the business. Of course, I love the industry. It is entertainment. There's no question. A lot of great people. But so I went to work for him as a rep. It was in Kansas City. And in April of 1990, he went out jogging, had a heart attack, and he passed away. And so I was kind of thrust into the industry. And I did it for a fair amount until I realized that it wasn't really exactly what I wanted to do. So I threw my dog and all my stuff in my Jeep and lived out of it for a couple of years. And that's how I ended up in Colorado with a short stint in Austin, and started the business about 10 years ago. So I won't bore you with more of the gory.
Wait, I mean, that's the most interesting story I've ever heard in my life. 2 years in a Jeep, your father passed away, a heart attack, you jumped into the business and took off with your dog and a couple places in between. That's makings for a book.
It was awesome. Well, I actually tried writing a book. I have a bunch of short stories put together called Slacker Sabbatical. Hopefully I'll get that all put together one day. Yep. I even have the domain.
Do you really?
I do.
All right.
Yeah.
What's one of your favorite stories of living out of the Jeep with the dog?
Well, okay, so I've got a bunch of them, Greg. I really do. And as time goes on, you guys will not get tired of the stories. I always tell people that it's an interesting thing to think back 20 years ago that I was living in a pop-up trailer, no running water, in the landscaping yard I was working at in Steamboat Springs, Colorado. Now I was skiing 200 days a year, and it was good living. But the woman who is currently my wife agreed to marry me, obviously not for money, and basically told me one day that she wasn't going to be living in the pop-up camper. But before I ended up in Steamboat, I literally threw my dog in my Jeep and traveled out west. Probably one of the funnier stories was as I was driving through, there's a little part of, I want to say it's I-15 that goes through a little corner of Arizona. As you're driving down through Utah, you go past Zion, and then you're on your way to Vegas. So there's a little rest area there, and there's a lot of Native Americans that are selling crafts and arts, and it's a really cool little rest area. Well, I got out, and I had to use the restroom, and I went number 2, and I'm sitting in the stall, and the guy next to me goes, "Hey man, how you doing?" So first I'm like, oh boy. I go, I'm doing pretty good. He goes, so where are you headed to? I was like, I'm not sure. I'm trying to get out to California, I think, to visit a friend. He bangs on the side of the stall. He goes, "Hey dude, shut up. I'm on the phone."
That's great. Oh, you thought he was talking to you.
Yeah, so I got up and just slowly left. So a lot of stories like that, though. But living in Steamboat was great. I got back into the restaurant business up there, just being a bartender, making ends meet. But yeah, no, it's been a great life. It really has.
So you were a bartender as well.
You bet. Absolutely. Threw a few beers around. Absolutely. Yep.
Now Jay loves you as a
lifetime
bartender.
What pops into my head is let's compare stories about crazy people and fun times. What's just off the top of your head, doesn't have to be a 5-minute story, but what's a 30-second story of something bizarre you saw as a bartender?
Something bizarre I saw as a bartender. Oh,
yeah,
or 30
some,
seconds?
Or somebody choked you, or you choked somebody. I mean,
one.
I've probably choked 30 people.
You have
20
not.
years. Yeah, probably 30.
Well,
I mean, not like straight up horror movie style choking, but like somebody that's doing something they shouldn't be doing, and you have to get them out of the bar immediately.
So there's this story that Jay tells about this.
I come up behind him.
This deaf guy that Jay thinks rips him off all the time.
It was a deaf guy, but we didn't know to wait. No, okay, because I'm onto a blind guy. I have a blind guy story that got body slammed by our door guy.
Oh my god!
And then I have a deaf guy story that I had to kick out, and he blamed me for kicking him out because of his impairment
What about
of hearing.
The guy who always said that he'd get a double, but he'd look at the bill and
that was also a deaf guy.
Yeah, tell that story.
Here's that the deaf guy story with him, and he's hearing impaired, and so it's difficult to understand what he's saying, right? But he was a regular, and so you know what he drinks, and he would drink double rum and cokes and a shot of Fireball. Or he would do a Blue Moon and a shot of Fireball. And so when he's on his double rum and cokes, so he orders double rum and cokes from me. And so I'll pour him double rum and cokes. And then when he'd get his bill, he would, motion me over and would point at the bill. And again, I'm not trying to be insensitive to, somebody with an impairment. Sure. So, but it is difficult to communicate. But what he's telling me is that I didn't have 4 drinks. I had 2 drinks. And so I would explain, well, you had 2 double drinks, which is 4 drinks. And he would say, no. And I would say, yes. And he would say, no. And then I'd stare at him like, do I have to kick you out? I mean, I'm so confused. Like I was confused. And come to find out from a coworker, he didn't like me.
He was playing Jay.
But I don't know if he didn't like me because I would actually charge him for his drinks, or I didn't know if he didn't like me because I'm not letting him get away with it. I couldn't even figure it out.
Now, most people would you have let him get away with it, Rich?
Sure.
You see, Jay, why wouldn't you let him get away?
No,
why?
I wouldn't. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if it would, and I told people this all the time. Well, when they would say, Jack and Coke, right? $6, double Jack and Coke, $12. Why is it double? And I'm like, well, aside from the obvious, we don't offer a break in price for doubles. Yeah. I know, and I would tell people, I understand that some bars do. You get a double, it's 10 instead of 12 or something like that. I go, we're not one of those bars, right? And the pushback I would get, and I would, Rich, I wouldn't lose my mind, but I would get animated, and I would say, do you think that I own this place? Would I be here on a Sunday night at 1:15 in the morning with 4 people in this bar? Do you think that I'm making the rules here? I would say stuff like that.
That's why you got out of the bartending, Rich.
Well, and see, if you owned the place, then you probably would have cared more, right?
Well, of course. I don't know. At least I would have been in a position to say, I'll give you this at a discounted price because this is my stuff. It's like they tell me Jack and Coke $6, I sell it for $6. They tell me it's $12 for a double, I sell it for $12.
He doesn't fudge. He's telling the truth.
Now, was this the same guy? Did he come in time and time again? Did you know when he was?
Yeah, and truly, because this is a real story. Truly, like whoever I was working with, when this guy would come in, and this as a bartender, there's certain people you just don't. If you have a coworker, it goes both ways. Where you're like. Right. You got that guy. I won't talk to him because he's going to bust my balls about the drink. So that's yours, and then vice versa. I've had a million people come to me.
Well, we always knew when the gypsies were coming, and we would hide all the salt and pepper shakers and all the extra cups.
They'd walk out the door.
We wouldn't let them start tabs. And
Jay, tell the story of the guy that you made. This is such a good story.
We should have
about
the
ketchup bottle that you forced the guy.
So first of all, I'm going to say this because
if you're going to join the family, you got to listen to the stories and tell the story.
Coming. Hey, let me tell you what, Greg, they're coming. As he starts to tell his story, I'm like, I remember that one.
Yeah.
That one? Oh, and then there's that one.
Yeah,
we're going to have a little show along the lines of why the bartender hates you, and that'll be a show eventually. Who knows when, but we're going to create it. So this was a regular guy who was in every single day. And if you're in the business, you know who I'm talking about. Your regular guy, he, I'll paint a picture. Rourke. He's a little squirrely looking guy with kind of a little, little mustache and glasses, and one of those little pin line mustache above the lip. And so here's the thing: nobody. I mean, he really was. I won't even say his name.
Did he smoke the cigarette with the long filter?
Yeah, right. He's one of those guys. So we'll call him Marty because it kind of sounds like Marty, his real name, but I won't use his real name. And Marty. So nobody really liked him for a lot of different reasons, right? And all those reasons are he didn't tip well. He would say stuff when he was a person that would complain about the price of things, and when I wouldn't give him a discount or give him a free drink or something, he would literally say the words to us, and not only me, I'm saving my tips for the bar down the street that gives me a free drink or 2 free drinks. I'm not tipping you because I'm going to tip them because they give me something for nothing. And I'd say, okay, great. I can even appreciate your honesty. But guess what? One day, Rich, a customer comes up to me and tells me, hey, that guy over there just put a bottle of ketchup in his coat pocket. And I said to that customer, and I didn't know who this guest was, and I said, are you telling me the truth? Because I'm about to blow this thing up.
And
so
this is like Jay is living for this moment. So truly he wants.
And it's the thin pencil mustache.
Yeah. It's Marty, and I already hate Marty, but I'm fair to Marty, but I'll admit that I hated him. So I said specifically to the guest, I'm like, listen, you have to be 100% because what I'm about to do is going to go terribly wrong if you're wrong, And they said, it was a young woman, and she says, listen, I'm my life. He's got a bottle of ketchup in his jacket pocket. I go, beautiful. I come up to him around the outside of the bar, the guest side of the bar, and I'm respectful, whether you want to believe it or not. I'm respectful, but I come up right on top of him, and I get in his ear and I say, give me the bottle of ketchup. Like that, like real sadistic, but, and he goes, what are you talking about? And I said, I know you have a bottle of ketchup in your jacket pocket. I want you to give it to me, And so he looks at me, Larry was just on. He looks at me, Rich, and we have this moment where we're looking at each other eye, and he's thinking like, is this dude going to break? Is this dude serious? Like, what's happened? And I just gave him dead eyes, and I just waited, and he goes real slow, and he opens his jacket pocket, and he reaches his hand in there, and he produces, a bottle of Hines ketchup, and I took the ketchup from him, and I said, hey, listen, I'm not even going to kick you out of the bar. I go, but I'm going to tell my general manager, and I'm going to let everybody know that you're stealing our stuff. That's what I told him. And he goes, it's just a bottle of ketchup, And I said, I know it's just a bottle of ketchup, and next door is Safeway. They got them for $1.89. That's what I told him.
Dirty Harry moment.
Yeah, basically. Now, listen, if this dude was like 6'4" and could destroy me, it would have been a lot different. But little Marty, I could beat Marty to death. So I took an opportunity, let him know how I felt. And here's another thing. He never came back to the bar.
Well, how bad did you feel when you realized that you guys used DuPont ketchup?
Yeah, that's right. I'll tell you this much. He never came back to the bar. And the people that I worked with, I was a hero. There were high fives each time a new employee found out that they're like, did you hear what Parker did to Marty? And they're like, no, what happened? They'd come around the corner with high fives coming at me, man. Just saying.
Marty probably went next door and bought ketchup at Safeway.
I saw Marty. I swear to God, man, this story never. I saw Marty like 3 weeks after this in Safeway next door, and he looked at me and he thought I was just going to beat him to death. He really did, we made eye contact for a second, and I just looked the other way because I didn't want.
Well, I think you're right though. I think we definitely have to have a conversation about bar stories. We'll drink modus operandi because after I was with you guys last time, and you had Dave Thibodeau on. We talked about it. I went out and I got the hazy, and it was awesome. But we should have bar conversations. I don't know that I have a hairy. Well, I do have a dirty Harry moment, kind of like that. But the physical alterations were the ones that were always just like an eye roller. I actually one time walked out back of the bar. I was bartending at the University of Kansas, a place called The Wheel, and I walked out back to empty trash. It was at the end of the night. And I saw the pizza guy who worked at the pizza place down below getting beat up by this guy. And this guy was just beating the crap out of him. And I screamed at him. I said, hey, stop it. What are you doing? And he comes over and he says to me, he goes, well, I'm a 3rd-degree black belt in Taekwondo. And I, of course, I bowed up like, all right, bring it. Next thing I know, I'm waking up in the dumpster.
Oh,
absolutely cleaned my clock. I'm lifting my head up. I got pieces of pizza hanging off my head. And so he turns and another guy, one of my buddies, comes out and he goes, hey man, he goes, what are you doing? What are you doing? And the guy goes, I'm a cop. And he says, I'm a cop, right as 2 Lawrence police officers are walking up. And needless to say, it didn't go well for him, because impersonating a police officer after beating up 2 people is not a good thing. So, but then, I do remember Ted, the pizza guy, and I going back up into the bar, both with our fat lips, holding cold beer cans as we came under our face. And then, of course, my girlfriend was sympathetic that night. So it was, I think I had a late night dinner made before I got tucked into bed. So it was good stuff.
God, imagine the stories we can't even tell on this platform.
Oh, we're going to tell them.
I mean, listen, we have to get the doctor on. I know, but it's like I have 100 more ready to go.
I know. Rich O'Brien, you're going to hear a lot from Rich O'Brien, Elevation Food Service. And that's what you want. You want to do business with people you know and you like and you trust, and you love the business.
Love it.
I know. You have the passion for it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to have you back, next week early. Can we schedule it now? Jay, let's schedule it now. I feel like we kind of stole your time from me, but I want to do a tour of the facility at some point. Can we do that?
Love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah,
you want Monday or Tuesday?
Sure.
Where are you right now? I'm
in my house right now. Yeah, I'm in my home office.
The palatial Rich O'Brien house.
Yeah, well, kind of. And I got to tell you, Larry was great. I think one of the things that we're doing, I just want to throw out there, is the Great American Takeout. I've got my right now. I'm calling it #foodbag on the belly. And, just a couple things, just eat out, support your local restaurant entrepreneurs. And you guys just let me know what time works next week. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys.
How about 4:30
on what day?
On Monday.
Done.
Is it a date?
Okay.
All right. We'll see you back there. We got a date right now, Rich.
All right, buddy. Take
care. Do you see this lovely lady right
way
here?
Better than me. You guys.
I've already taken you off the screen, man. She sits there in silence. I put her up over you.
Get me out of here. See you, fellas.
Rich, see you. All right, Dr. Baby Yoda joins us right now, and Dr. Sara Metz, Code 4 counselor. What's up with you?
Not much. Busy day.
Really?
What's up, Ben?
What'd you do today?
Busy, just taking care of people. Apparently, I'm supposed to do that like all day, every day.
You got that monstrous dog walking or pacing back there.
Oh, did she make a little appearance?
Oh, yeah. Just went back and forth right there.
My little shadow. She's locked out at the moment.
So you're all done up. Are you going?
Am I?
Yeah. Are you going for a drive with Mr. Metz?
We should get out. I don't think we've been out of the house in a couple of days. Maybe we'll go on a little date drive later.
That's not a bad idea.
I like it. We actually did that the other day. We just went for a drive and did car karaoke.
Car karaoke.
Right?
Singing and dancing.
Sing and dance.
Well, you have been dancing a little bit.
I have been dancing for you guys. Yeah.
We've been warming you up.
I like it. Yes.
I do too. Today's one of those days.
Good or bad?
Well, it's one of those days where I have to ask you and Jay you said, okay, I'm not 100%.
Yeah?
I'm 80, maybe 60%. So
what do you think that is? Just tired?
Yes and no. So sleep. I think, Jay, have you been sleeping well? Because I think you may have transferred it to me.
No, I mean, I don't ever sleep well. I mean, I just don't, right? And so I don't even want to get into why, because we don't have time. I have slept better the past couple nights, I guess, than normal. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's it. Maybe you're getting my
Are you in a better place?
Mentally?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm in the same place. I really do. To where it's like some days are good, some days are bad. Like I said yesterday, I think talking with Dr. Sara helps, to get some of my feelings out and my concerns and to hear her, say the things that she's in the way of, like, if I am going down the right path, she's like, that's normal to feel that way. So I like hearing that. But I don't think I've ever, just not that guy. Right? Doctor, isn't that a thing? Like, can't I just be that guy where it's like, listen, he's never going to be happy. Like, that's just not who he is. Right. But if But if I can maintain it,
Eeyore? Did you just say
Eeyore.
Yeah.
Everyone,
Eeyore?
every pack needs an Eeyore.
What's Eeyore?
He's one of them.
What's Eeyore?
Yeah,
what kind of childhood did you have if you don't know who Eeyore is?
You want to get into it? You know, cigar burns and
Can you respond with who is Eeyore? What's Eeyore?
I truly don't know what Eeyore is. I mean, it kind of sounds familiar, but I don't know what
Winnie
it
the Pooh, Piglet.
No, I didn't get into all that stuff. I mean, I really didn't.
He was always down. Eeyore.
I mean, I don't know about that, but I mean, that is kind of my personality.
He just kind of accepted that he was a little bit more ho-hum, but that's okay. I think you can, if that's who you are, that's who you are, but you just have to constantly be choosing something to work on. We all have things we can work on in ourselves.
You know what was a cool thing today? Jay scheduled his
I remember his mentor.
Chef Doug McMillan from Rosa's Italian.
How was that?
Well, I mean, Jay lit up, you know, he was going and that did something to you, Jay, didn't it?
Hey man, good views on that too. That started a little static from the day, but yeah, man, I mean, honestly, it did. It made me, I mean, if anything, it kind of depressed me a little bit more because truthfully, like those were happy years. Those were the best years of my life. And Greg even said like, where do you rank? I'm like, so put it this way, Doc, it was like 94, 95, 96, right around there, right? The middle of the mid 90s. And I was 17, 18, 19 working in this Italian restaurant and the sky was the limit. I was invincible, obviously, right? The whole life's ahead of you. Yeah. That was back when women found me attractive for some reason, right? And so the lady thing was never a problem. And whether you believed Chef Doug or not, man, I was a gangster in that kitchen. I truly was, man. Like if you saw me on a saute, it would blow your mind. But so, I mean, it didn't depress me, obviously, but it was a very nostalgic moment seeing Doug and seeing the kitchen and seeing where this happened. And I can remember it like it was yesterday. So I think overall it was good.
It's good. But again, it also proves the point to think so much of our day to day is where our headspace is. So when you bring up good old memories, yeah, there's a little bit of, I missed that time, but it also changes your energy because it gives you that positivity.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice hearing him compliment me. I'll admit that. It was nice because I honestly didn't think that was going to be any part of the conversation as far as him saying how good I was in the kitchen. And maybe he was just saying that because he thinks I
think he truly
do a radio show or whatever. But I didn't expect to hear that from him. Yeah. So to hear him say that, it did. It made me feel good because that's what I thought.
I tell you do a good job every day.
No, I know. I tell you do a good job almost every day. But I'm not to say that that's different coming from him, but it's different coming from him because that's a whole other world.
That's a whole other life of yours.
Yeah. And even though I'm not going back to that, so that compliment, it dies on the vine because it's like, yeah, you were really good. It's like, I used to play high school football. Great, thanks.
Yeah. Not getting that back.
Yeah, 4 touchdowns in one game.
Exactly.
Thanks.
Why do I feel like weird that I'm looking at your shoulders? I shouldn't do that. That just sounds so creepy.
Well, not until only when you say it out loud.
It's like I keep looking at her damn shoulders, man.
Sorry, I'm showing them off today.
I know.
It's a weird shirt. It's got sleeves, but it's got like open shoulders. Do you need me to I can't.
No. Just don't mind if I'm sitting there going, nice shoulders.
I'll cover myself.
What's up, Nick? How you doing?
Nice there, Greg.
Nick. Listen,
Nick, that was Greg.
First shoulder. No, that was Jay.
People say our voices sound a lot alike, but that was Greg.
They do sound that.
But you're at 60%.
I mean, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know.
Sleeping good.
Last night, no. Night before, no.
Yeah.
But yes, the night before. But I felt yesterday was a killer show. We had a little rough start today. That was weird. The audio was stolen.
Again?
Well, not again. What do you mean again?
You guys were saying that you had like a meltdown. Remember, you two were going to kill each other over.
Oh well, that's
it's Friday. It's Friday. What are you guys eating tonight?
Tonight, I might not be I might not be fun. I made chili last night.
So you're having chili again?
We might have chili again. Chili's always better the second time.
It's the best.
Totally is.
Yeah.
I threw a bunch of stuff in a pot, and it turned out pretty good.
Did it?
I threw the Spice Guys spice in it.
Did you really?
I did.
He would like to know that. Do you mind if I do a Spice Guy live here real quick?
Go for it. Make the plug.
Let's see. The Spice Guy. Hey. The Spice Guy is Dr. Sara Metz's favorite spice company.
It is.
It is. All right. And the world's favorite spice company, too. Restaurants and chefs, a little slow right now, but you can still get organized and ready to go. Everybody's stuck at home right now, so why not just Google the Spice Guy? That's the best way to get a hold of him. He's got an offering. It's the Won't Stay Down box. I think that's what you got, right? Did you get one of these?
I didn't do the box. I picked four that I wanted.
Four?
Do a box. I guess I should have done the box. Maybe I'll do the box next time.
You'll get the box next time. When you Google him, you'll see an online website that's fantastic. It's comprehensive. It's got everything you need. Get your spices in order. Get your life in order and your spices in order. Support local and support the Spice Guy.
And get the roasted garlic blend.
Is that your favorite?
Roasted garlic blend and sweet heat
are
the two that we are dumping in everything now.
Yeah, that's that garlic blend that I talk about too. But I do the same thing.
You brought it up, and so I bought it, and you are exactly right.
Yeah, it goes on everything.
Doctor, what do you want to talk to us about?
I want to talk about your sleep, and I want to talk about how the chick across your apartment's doing.
That's an interesting one, isn't it?
That is very interesting. Have you met said individual in person?
No.
We all would like to watch that.
Okay, so now you have to tell the audience, since nobody knows what you're talking about.
Nobody knows?
Nobody knows.
Brought this live on air?
Well, do you think I could I don't think they want, or me or any.
I think everyone
wants to see that? Okay, I'll tell the quick story. Other night, I'm doing a How Club at 8:00, right? So I'm showing, I live in a fairly.
Medically for the moon.
Yeah, I live in a fairly dense neighborhood in Cherry Creek. And folks are out in full force honoring our frontline workers.
Yes.
Hospital workers everywhere, nurses, doctors, you name it. And it's getting pretty loud every night. Well, the other night was a full moon. So I thought that probably brought the passion out, I would say.
Agree.
Subsequently, the neighbors across the hall or across the way decided, let's do a photo shoot out on the balcony. And it was one of those, you might pay for that online photo shoot.
You would.
Yeah. And
you could pull it off, I gotta say.
I had to live stream it.
Yeah, you did.
And
we all watched.
There were some folks that watched, one or two people.
Yeah. I watched.
Yeah.
Doctor, let me ask you this question.
What do you got?
When you're watching that from Greg, and this is kind of
now keep in mind I'm a guy that gets embarrassed seeing shoulders.
Right.
So
well no, my question is
a
that
little more scantily dressed than this, but apparently Greg.
I know,
Doctor, and this isn't a doctor question, this is just kind of a moral question. Do you think that Greg overstepped
by filming
somebody's privacy by doing that?
No.
There's no way.
You couldn't see. I mean, it's not
in public. How do you have
but you know why I'm asking, right?
No.
Yeah. Well, because some other people had that opinion. That to seem like what he did with that video, that he was overstepping his bounds. And so while I have somebody that's completely intelligent and moral as yourself, I wanted to ask that question.
Now people are chiming in on this.
Because I wanted to hear, because I don't think, I watched it and I'm like, this is harmless. You don't know who those people are, first of all. It's way too far away to see any detail to know anything, and not to mention they're doing it in public. Like if you go out on a high-rise balcony in Cherry Creek where the whole world can see you,
that people are watching.
Exactly, like the score, right? So anyway, I mean that was just
I'd like to think
me.
They were doing it for me.
I felt
I'm sure they were. Yeah.
There was a lot of eye contact there.
Yeah.
It was for you.
And so maybe I just had the
social connecting while physical distancing.
I just thought it was interesting.
It was.
It all gave us a moment of
you don't see that
and joy.
I owe you a drawing on Monday.
You do. What are you going to draw?
I'm drawing it now as we speak.
Are you?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm excited to see it.
Well, you told me do a fruit bowl.
Yes, and are you? Is there any particular fruit you've chosen your fruit items?
The ones that I made up in my head, but you always have to put the pear in there.
Yeah, well, there's got to be a pear, yes. Yeah. And I like pears, so I'm excited to see the fruit bowl.
That's right.
And then the next one will be the woman from across the balcony.
Oh, that would be interesting. Maybe I'll do that.
Hey, of a sudden, screw Sarah's drawing. I'm going straight.
Maybe I'll do that. Those of you that are just laying eyes for the first time on this young lady, it's Dr. Sara Metz and Code 4 Counseling. We call her Dr. Baby Yoda right here.
Code4counseling.com.
Code4counseling.com. Talk about Code 4 Counseling and some of the things that you're doing right now as projects.
Oh, we've got so many projects. So Code 4 Counseling's been around for a couple of years, and we focus on providing counseling to first responders and their families to help them kind of manage the high stress of that unique job. We also do a lot of training. We've done a lot of training actually for the restaurant industry last 6 months or so on stress management and resiliency and kind of just coping skills on how to manage high stress jobs. And so we have a couple big projects that we're working on right now. So as a side gig, I've decided to create a counseling program for people who want to do what I do, which is counsel emergency responders. There's no program like that in the country. And so I've paired with CSU Global, and we are creating a full master's program, which should never be a side job because this is a lot of flipping work.
Holy cow.
Holy crap it's a lot, but it's really exciting. So that's kind of the little side job we're working on right now. And we've started really partnering with a lot of the hospitals in the area to make sure that the hospital workers and the ER docs and the nurses and everyone who is on the front line is really getting some extra support right now because they're just drowning in it. So hospitals in the past haven't been very known for taking care of the mental health. They're just, it's just not ever been really something that they have focused on. And so now they're really stepping up and trying to do more of that. So we're helping the hospitals out too.
In the restaurant world, as you're starting to get more familiar with the folks, what do you see is broken? Is there a theme?
I think the themes that I'm seeing around COVID is just that feeling helpless and all the uncertainty. Across the board, one of the things that I love is actually emergency responders and the restaurant industry have, in a lot of ways, a very similar personality, which is that dark sense of humor and that sarcasm, which is great, but trying to help them learn to take care of themselves has been a little bit of a struggle. And the alcohol. We all know that alcohol.
I was going to bring that up.
Yeah, that's always been something that's been very much a part of the industry, and that's okay. We're not trying to take that away, but helping people recognize if you're struggling with depression, alcohol fuels that. If you're struggling with sleep, alcohol prevents you from getting good quality sleep. So you just have to be really mindful in certain times in your life to maybe be able to pull back if it's going to make certain things worse. If you're sleeping fine and you don't feel depressed, then drink whatever you want to drink. But if you're struggling with certain things, you want to make sure you back off the alcohol because that's going to make it 10 times harder to deal with those issues.
How about first responders? Maybe not alcohol, but substance abuse?
Alcohol. Yeah. Alcohol. Abuse, I would say with responders, we see a lot of alcohol abuse and we see a lot of painkiller abuse.
Yeah.
And again, not intentional, but they have surgeries. They get hurt. And, they aren't taught to be really careful of pain meds. And so those are really easy to get addicted to.
Completely.
It's really scary.
A lot of folks think that, alcohol is the most controllable one and that it's legal. So
yeah, it's easy access. It's controllable. It's so much a part of the culture. And so it's really hard. It's really easy to get kind of lost down that rabbit hole and it's hard to come out of it.
Do you ever get any feedback from folks from this show? Have you?
I've had a few people reach out actually, which has been really cool.
Yeah. I'm sure that our viewership, there's some broken people out there.
And I think that, and I always try to tell people you're not broken, you're injured. And so injury we can recover from. And I think that, but that's what we want is for people to recognize, know that you're going to get injured sometimes. You get injured all the time physically, right? And you can recover from that, from most physical injuries.
Another epiphany you gave me is that why not look at things as an injury and rehabbing and getting back to it?
Right. Same way you would a physical injury. You can go from no injury to a minor cut on your hand to it being infected to it being a permanent injury if you don't take action to heal from it. But that's the same with a psychological injury. Everybody's injured right now.
But
do things to manage that.
A lot less likely to address because it doesn't seem as urgent because you're not bleeding or cut.
Right.
But why not address it as quickly as a physical injury?
Right. And once you know that you're infected, you have to do something. You can't just ignore it and think it'll heal on its own. And everybody's infected right now. You've got to do stuff. You've got to take action to heal.
Damn it. You're so
I know.
smart.
You paid a lot of money for this shit.
You did. Continuing education. Jay, give my computer. You know what time it is. Let's get down, mama.
Hold on 2 seconds.
All right. Dr. Sara Metz, we have to thank everybody. We'll start with Dr. Sara Metz as we get into a Friday. What a good show. If you missed any of it, the replay will be there for you on the Modern Eater Facebook page or YouTube channel. Chef Doug McMillan, Jay's restaurant in Pismo Beach, California. Rosa's Italian. Oh no. Do they got us? Oh.